Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Anime Nights, episode 17. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a good night. So we are starting off early. Well, not early, but we're starting off right now without DA. DA is not here. He had to step out. He had to go handle his business for a few minutes. So it's going to be us starting off this anime night. So let's get everybody out here so we can start things off. We have a name in the background.
Yo, what's up,
You know,
gang?
with his glasses pimping
Bro,
over there. We got
they,
Stacy coming up.
Always with the aura farming glasses. A name.
bro, you know me, bro. When I take them off, my power's unleashed, bro. I gotta keep them
Oh,
on.
man. And
Oh,
I
shit.
think we have let's see, is he back yet? I'm not sure if he came back or not, but we'll wait to see if he got back or not. But how's everybody's night going so far out there? What y'all
It's
doing?
going
What's up?
good. I just
I know I
got home
sound
from
dry.
work.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying, but we're gonna get through this until DA gets there. But let's start off by seeing who's out there. Let's say hi to Supreme Legend. How's he doing?
That's uppercase name.
Oh, for real?
That's big bro.
Nice.
All right. And then we got Lieutenant Garatina out there. What's going on, Lieutenant? You know, and who else is out there? Let's see. We got Green Skin. I can't see the beginning of the name, but Green Skin is out there.
T's in the
And
chat.
He's-
he is.
Yo,
I'm-
Angel.
What up, T?
We gotta get, bro. Give T that host privilege. This stream's about to go off the rails, bro.
Dude,
Nah,
no.
they're not going off the rails so far. I mean, right now we're starting off. I'm trying. Like I said,
Mm.
I'm not used to doing everything like this. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm trying, and we're gonna
Hey,
get through this right now. Through
You got
the,
this,
you're doing good so far, bro. Don't sell
we
yourself
got
short.
Brandon in the background. What's going on, Brandon?
What's up, everybody? I hope your week has been very good. And yes, this week's episode of Frieren, it's setting it up. It's setting it up for it to be knocked out of the park.
Oh, it was a good episode. It
Yes,
was
it was.
very, very good. Name, did you get to watch it yet?
bro. I'm an NPC. I've not started Frieren yet, but everyone that I talk to, my cousin, my older cousin, who is like doing computer like science in college, he's busy as shit. He always finds time to like watch Frieren. And I have a younger cousin who's like in middle school. He like has like passing like flickering interest in anime, but Frieren's like something that he keeps up with every week. So that's how I can tell like okay, these guys got something. So I'm glad to hear that like it's been a consistently good anime.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great binge. It's a great weekly series. All that I will say is name. Seriously, what's wrong? Watch Frieren. You got to watch Frieren, my friend. You've got to do it.
All right, DK. I mean, we got DA saying he's gonna be back in 5 minutes, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
We holding it down for you right now. We're holding it down. So let's start with the first topic of the night. So we have news in regards to One Piece hitting the theaters for the first 2 episodes. It looks like that's going to come out in March and on the 10th.
Very
Are
soon.
you guys looking forward in regards to these 2 episodes being in the theaters, or is it something that you think that should just be strictly on Netflix in regards
Okay,
to
so
the
we're talking
streaming
the
app?
live action one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it could probably be a good move. I think it could work, but it would it's probably going to be like one of those moves where like we'll give you a tease of it, but if you want to see the rest of it, you have to do it at home. And I can see that how that works. So it's going to be based on the I'd say what was it the want of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I still haven't watched the live action. I mean, I've seen just clips, and I know a lot of people suggest for me to watch the live action, but I feel like that I still kind of need to watch the anime versions, but it's just so many episodes that I don't know where to really start. I started in the beginning, but it's just like slow for me. So, and I know there's a lot of different versions in regards to this One Piece anime. Like, there's different variations of it. Am I correct? Or
not yet?
I've seen different anime drawn for it, or is it all still one continuing?
It's one
continuing story.
It's one continuance. The thing is, I think like Crunchyroll has the one where it's more closer to the manga than 4Kids had it.
Oh, don't watch the 4Kids one. You'll want to gouge your eyes out and stick stuff in your ears. So bad.
Also, Netflix. I think Netflix and Wit Studio are working on a remake of like the first few stretches. So I haven't been hearing like many updates on that. Just that
I'll tell you,
working on it.
I'll give you the skinny. So here's the deal with One Piece. One Piece, done by Toei Animation. It's been going since basically since 2000. Okay. First several hundred episodes, old school style animation, all hand drawn, no computer aided in it, traditional 4x3, or at least that's how it was originally done. They do have a remastered version that is on Netflix that has it on the full widescreen. But if you try to watch it versus even just going in just 4 years, it's a massive change. So A, you're going to have animation issues because of its age. B, the East Blue is a set up arc. It's a good arc, but it's very light in comparison to what comes after. You have to get into the Alabasta arc, which you're almost 200 episodes in before it really starts kicking up a notch. Then you have the fillers and all the other stuff. Okay. Having said that, I do recommend to watch it from the beginning. Just bear that in mind. You can, if you want, skip the fillers, although the filler stuff they did is actually all right. Or you can wait for Wit Studio to finish doing the One Piece. They're starting from the beginning. They're trimming it down. It's going to be paced better and actually be closer to the manga, or just read the manga. If you read fairly quickly, you can buzz through the East Blue and through half of Alabasta probably in a few days, which is where the Baroque works is the second arc that then leads into Alabasta. That's where they're going with the live action. You could probably buzz through the manga omnibuses in a few days. And that's probably the best way to do it. Now, having said that, name changes. Roronoa Zoro isn't Zoro, he's Zolo. So there's translation issues from the original that they kind of fix with the anime and all that, but you just have to roll with it.
Right, because
otherwise...
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
Brandon. The thing about the Japanese
what's
is
up, everybody?
They have a hard time with their L and R's.
Yes, that's why in the book he's Roronoa Zolo as opposed to being Zoro. He's supposed to be Roronoa Zoro, but as long as you understand that, you'll be okay. As far as the live action goes, I don't trust Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Nah, you can't trust Netflix, guys.
Nope.
Sorry, I'm late, everybody. I had a quick thing to do. Thank you very much, Angel, for getting the show started without me. Thank you, guys.
Did it involve
for
a
being
hamburger?
here, everybody. Did we already do our intros and go around? And wait, what did I say? What did I miss?
Did it involve a hamburger?
It did not involve Wendy's. No food was involved.
Really?
Yeah, surprise. Nah, I just had to get somebody picked up. So, but
Gotcha.
had to take care of
Cool.
It's
good to see you.
stuff. That
Going
kind of
on
stuff.
to
So,
everybody in the panel, and what's up, chat?
What up,
I see a bunch of people
Cyphax?
saying hi. How you guys all
What's
doing?
up,
Howdy,
Cyphax?
Cyphax.
DA?
So I heard you guys talking about the One Piece live action, and that's definitely one of the topics. We got an article we'll kind of check out, but I think it's interesting that it's going to be in theaters, considering now that Netflix, I think they were trying to push the whole, hey, we're going to theaters, we're going to have some of our stuff in theaters, and then they don't get Warner Brothers after all. So now it's kind of like, did they do that for that purpose? That's the thing I was kind of wondering. I don't know if that's the reason why they, decided to do that, or if this is something that they're just going to start, tinkering around with, having live action TV shows, first 2 episodes in theaters. Because we see it all the time with anime, right? We see it with Demon Slayer, or not Demon Slayer. Well, Demon Slayer was doing that, but then we saw it with JJK, where they had the first 2 episodes in theaters. And so maybe that's something that Netflix is going to start, kind of playing around with. But we'll get to that. Let's go ahead and start the show. And you guys, I got a poll for you. All right. Angel actually had suggested this one. Okay. Which side or which pill are you taking?
Blue. Instantly blue. I'll take Dragon
That
Ball.
was too quick, man.
Oh hell yeah, I
Blue.
love Dragon Ball. OG Dragon Ball. Mwah! Akira Toriyama, may he rest in peace, is king. By far the best. You just can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong with Dragon Ball.
Dude,
I mean,
I'd even take Krillin from the blue pill over literally any character in the red one. So that's just me.
I'll take the
That's the
red.
poll question for the night, folks. Wait, actually, I should. That's all right. Yeah, some people will come along and be like, "What's red pill, blue pill? What does that mean?" I should have probably put this picture up, but yeah. I listen, man. I love both series, but I think I would be a blue pillar myself when it comes to Dragon Ball versus Demon Slayer. I think it's an easy choice in my opinion.
This is like the only time you'll ever hear me vote blue, man. But yeah.
there's a lot more Dragon Ball. Plus, this week was the 40th anniversary of the original Dragon Ball episode airing.
Yep. My
Love it.
kids were actually talking about that today. We asked this question to ourselves. If Dragon Ball came out today, would it be what it is now? I mean, would we look on Dragon Ball the same way that we look at it now, in retrospect? Would it have the same kind of impact? Like, what do you think Dragon Ball would be like if it dropped in today's anime climate?
Like if he dropped the original ones with
Like the
way that it
original
looked,
Dragon
like-
Ball, yeah. Goku,
like if it
booty
dropped-
butt naked, rolling around with Bulma.
Well, if it dropped now with like today's graphics with the original episodes, but with like today's upgraded graphics, like I think it would still hit. But I mean, if you drop that animation now from the old ones, I don't think it works. But what's great about it is because it's gone through so many like different iterations and stuff like that, and you can see the progress of animation. Like you can go back and appreciate each era of it, and really grow it. Like it grows with it grew with us, as we were watching it. We got to watch. It's one of the longest running ones that we've grown up around or whatever, and we're raised on as far as anime goes. And you can just, you appreciated each next step for the most part. There's some misses here or there, but for the most part, it's like you got to see it. Like it grew with you, and it still kept your interest that whole time. I don't know if that would work now because like where the animation is, it's like, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man, some of the Jujutsu Kaisen, these things are like already such peak animation where you're like, dude, where do you even go from here? So I kind of appreciate being able to go back and look at these and watch it grow. And also, it's a nostalgia as far as looking at that. But I don't know how well it would do now. I think the storyline, like the overall story, it would just, hey, man, as long as you persevere and you just get through all the struggles, I think that message still resonates pretty strongly regardless.
I don't know. We've got TikTok
go ahead,
brain
Brandon.
problems, so yeah.
What do you think about the influence standpoint? Like Dragon Ball influenced so much. Like if Akira Toriyama was like writing Dragon Ball now, like you think about how many people he influenced with his story. Like if he's like, let's say that just didn't happen. Obviously, Akira Toriyama was influenced by other people. And those people may have become the influences of that time, but it's kind of almost hard to imagine like anime without Dragon Ball because of how influential it was,
I think it's hard to imagine it out here in the West, but a lot of the stuff really is taking off, obviously more in like Japan and stuff like that. But out here in the West, yeah, I think that was most people's starting off point towards anime is Dragon Ball and like, I don't know, whatever you could find on Adult Swim late at night, because there wasn't really many places to watch it. You didn't have access to it as easy. And, so I think that's why it resonates so
I'm just saying like
out here in the
overall,
West.
like anime in general, like, again, even in Japan, Akira Toriyama was hugely influential. On mangakas, even in Japan, like not just Americans watching the anime, but just like you know what I mean. Like he was just such an influence that it would be like would we have like some of the stuff we have now if Akira Toriyama didn't make Dragon Ball Z? Would we have like Demon Slayer, for instance? Or would it have been different?
I think it probably would be different because, like you said, he did set the bar. For example, some of the best animes that he basically inspired basically took the premise of Dragon Ball and applied it in their own way. Like, for example, the whole thing about the power levels between just take like power levels between Goku and Vegeta. It's always topping each other. And if you were to make a comparison, I would probably say something like, for example, Yu-Gi-Oh! You have Yugi and the Dark Magician, and then you have Seto Kaiba and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Every time like a new portion of the story opened up, we got new forms of the Dark Magician and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Like we got it just started off with those two, and then Duelist Kingdom, we got the Black Magician of Chaos and the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then like as they're going into Waking the Dragons and Millennium World, we got like new forms of them every time. So it's showing evolution. And whenever one came out, the other one came out like shortly after.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that?
So
I'm
I
just
have
curious.
a question for the.
Would you consider him?
Panel.
Would you consider him like the J.R.R. Tolkien of anime? It's like because without that guy, it's like who knows where storytelling would be without someone like J.R.R. Tolkien. It's like
I don't say. No. I wouldn't say he was the J.R.R. Tolkien. I see Brandon is dropping in Fist of the North Star, which I would say that's kind of where everything begins as well, especially for modern anime.
Oh yeah.
I have a question for the panel real quick. Like, so you think like on the topic of it dropping today, you think like people are gonna like the like a side of the fandom is gonna like do that shipping shit with like Goku and Vegeta, because like I've seen it with My Hero, and like that stuff is like prominent in like a lot of fandoms. Like you see two male characters like have an intense rivalry or like a friendship, and then they just immediately think, oh, like what if we wrote a fan fiction about them? So like you think that would like change the demographic of like who's watching Dragon Ball or not?
No, those people would be ignored. Trust me, name. Those people would be ignored because they're basically taking something that is not even remotely even hinted, and then they're trying to basically spin it. Okay, that's like somebody looking at Naruto and going, Naruto should not have married Hinata. He should have married Sakura. No, if you actually pay attention to the story, he moved on from her, and there was no reason to do that. You got people just trying to put their own spin on that stuff. That's why, like, here's the thing. I love fan fiction. Do that in fan fiction. Quit trying to put that on the real stuff. Let it be what it is.
It's like the people trying to ship All Might and whoever.
Deku.
Yeah, stupid shit like that. But no, when it goes to Godfathers or originators, Burns and Tetsuo Hara are the genesis point for pretty much every modern everything that has come since, as far as anything in the shonen or even in the seinen realm. In fact, let me show you why. So, turn on my lights here. There we go.
And and if we're talking about that's good.
That's beautiful
clean,
right there.
Man.
That is beautiful.
Volume 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
It finally got a full release. In fact, I actually opened up Karu. Check it out.
Oh wait.
So if you want to watch One
video
Piece
game on PlayStation,
you get Karu. So,
but if we're gonna talk about like manga goats, we gotta give credit to the original, like Tezumu Osaka. That
Leiji Matsumoto would be considered a godfather of it, of anime as far as the sci-fi side of it goes, because he did, you had the Galaxy Express 39, Captain Harlock, all of that, which has inspired all sorts of everything since. But as much as this was not Akira Toriyama's first successful long-running manga anime. Dr. Slump was his first one.
Yeah.
And that was done a few years beforehand. So
I want Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that done at least 3 years before Dragon Ball?
I believe so. Original Dragon Ball, if I remember correctly, came out in 84. The anime came out in 86. Hold on one sec. I've actually got the Dragon Ball omnibus of the whole original Dragon Ball run. Let me see when it's
Man, you
original
got all
copyright
kind of
is.
stuff back there. What else you got?
Yeah, got a little bit of everything. here.
TNG back there, man.
Oh yeah, I love my DS9 stuff. There was someone that put out a thing saying, "Hey, what's the best sci-fi show ever?" And they put Firefly, and I wanted to bitch slap him. So
Hey,
Why
Brandon,
didn't
you
you?
know, your collection is not going to be complete in the background until that awesome the 4K of Starfleet Academy comes out. I mean, I know you want that.
yeah, that ain't happening.
That'll really seal it all together for you.
Let's see. Volume 1 of Dragon Ball came out in 1985. And if I remember correctly, Dr. Slump came out in like 82, 83. But yeah, the omnibus is the way to go because the first 18 volumes is the original Dragon Ball run. Then everything after that is technically Dragon Ball 2. But because 2 and Z looks the same, they just called it Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But, if you want to... If you don't have the time to watch the anime, you could just read the book and have stuff that that they can't show and stuff that you can't really show in the anime, like Master Roshi losing his mind.
Oh man, can we even show that on YouTube? Man,
I don't know. I think someone might try to pause and zoom and see that.
yeah.
Well, it's all in black and white, but yeah, Dragon Ball is really good. And actually, I was watching. I've got the DVD, the Funimation remaster. I actually do like the English dub, and the reason for it is because they actually followed the manga in the English dub closer than what the Japanese one did. I was shocked when I saw that.
Nice.
But every now and then, something surprises me.
So that was the poll question, folks. Just to remind you, in case you're coming in late, which pill are you taking? Are you taking the red pill or the blue pill? Go ahead and drop your vote in the chat in the poll up there. We'll leave that up for a couple of more minutes, and then we shall move on. We actually got a second poll we're going to bring up later on. But before we get to that, let me hit these super chats. Thank you guys so much for your participation and your support. Dragon Master Zero drops a $10 super sticker. Let me go track it down before it gets up out of here. All right, it's a flying pear. You like that flying pear, Dragon Master, because you're always giving that up. Thank you very much, brother.
Super
Dragon
pear.
Master Zero, taking care of business as usual. What's that?
It's Super Pear.
Super pear, yeah.
Super Pear.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of big time supporters that always help us, and Dragon Master Zero is absolutely one of them. Thank you very much, Dragon Master. Coming in is Lieutenant Giratina, member for 15 months, and also a mod. Gun better not have Millie Alcock in what? Man of Tomorrow, or have her replaced with someone, otherwise we'll get robbed of Brainiac again. Stop repeating history. Man, this is anime nights. What you talking about, man? we doing anime nights, man. You got to have an anime question, bruh. But yeah, I think we will absolutely discuss James Gunn and everything that's happening right now with Warner Brothers once we hit that on Sunday. But yeah, thank you very much, Lieutenant Giratina. Much love for the 15 months and memberships. We also got Zodlander, member for 2 months. Have a great weekend, everyone. Question: would Berserk be a hit today? And also, have any of you seen Please Teacher, and what do you think of them? So I don't know about Berserk. Would Berserk be a hit today?
Berserk would definitely be a hit, especially with those who want to piss off the easily offended.
Okay,
Well,
got you.
I think Berserk would work right now, especially because some of the most popular things right now is like all the Game of Thrones stuff. It's like dark and gritty and shit like that. And Berserk, I mean, obviously it's Berserk's obviously different, but that kind of dark twist on stuff like that, I think Berserk would totally work, especially if you could give it some like I don't know, new like Jujutsu Kaisen style graphics. That'd be pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still amazing, but it's like, hey man.
I also think with like the success of Frieren, that would probably also contribute to like Berserk being a hit. Like, that fantasy, like, element of it. I think it'd be like But it also goes back to the Dragon Ball question, because like Berserk also had a huge influence on a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure like Dark Souls.
Well, it's from the same era.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Berserk started like in 88, if I remember correctly. And I don't want to be the contrarian, but I'm going to say no. And here is why.
You don't think it would be? Oh, okay.
No, because that style of fantasy, the dark fantasy, the absolute savagery of this manga is even back then it really pushes a lot of boundaries. But in today's society, with as far as Japan society, no, that's not the common type of thing that you get. You don't get stuff that dark and that gritty. And the only reason why that this one is still going is because it is a legacy IP and it is going to be finished by his friend. And I was seeing what they were coming out with. Man, if it wasn't something that was already established, there's no way it would get published today. And all that I'll say, I do have the first volume of Berserk in a single. Look at the first page, look at the second page, and you'll know exactly why they would never approve it as a new series.
You think
today.
even like with the like grim dark fantasy has been like on the rise more like with Game of Thrones? I'll just throw that out there. That's the first thing.
None of that stuff matters really in Japan. I've never seen anybody in Japan give two shits about Game of Thrones or anything similar to it that was written by a Westerner. I've never seen that. Now,
I mean, it might not rise.
Yeah, that makes more sense because that is a property created by a Westerner, in this case, an American J.R. or whatever his loser name is, because he won't finish the fucking
Martin
thing. So,
yeah.
But that's a side story. No, I think their sensibilities have changed a bit to what they're doing, and even back then, that was not a common thing. You know, if you look back at the 80s and what was coming out then, mostly mecha, slice of life stuff, which is all the time. The Dragon Ball stuff, the more shonen heavy, or the starting of the shonen genre really taken off. You know, like with Dragon Ball and that. Yeah, I don't think it would fly today. I don't think it would.
Fair point. What about the second question? Has anybody seen Please Teacher?
No.
Nope.
I probably have done a preview of it, and I'm afraid to look at it because I can just imagine with that title. In fact,
I thought name would have knew something about it by now.
If you could name it,
I haven't heard it, but the name alone, Please Teacher.
It makes me think. It was like, is that going to be? It's going to be either heavy, like ichi, or a hentai, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's from 2002, so it is a science fiction romantic comedy television series. It was later adapted. Let's see. Please Teacher premiered in Japan. Let's see. The setting of the series left unsaid. Oh, it doesn't say. Let's see. Please Teacher is a story mainly revolving around a tight-knit group of friends in high school, shock, and how they cope with several life changes that are never too far off from intimate relationships. Yeah, you can tell where this is going. It's going to be very harem and FG heavy.
I feel more people have typed that title into Pornhub than they've ever looked for this show.
Probably. But it's from that time where that type of comedy was really starting to come to the forefront. And then it pretty much, apex with high school DxD and becoming the harem king. That's when it's in that time frame. We don't get that type of stuff anymore either, so
Got it.
Probably one of the starts of the harem, that harem genre that's out there. It's probably one of the starters of that. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, you can Tenchi Muyo for that, but that one is not really even that either. So yeah.
Thanks, Zodlander, for that. And then Brandon, the anime guy, came in with 5. What we were already discussing, all modern anime, including Dragon Ball, owe their start to the Fist of the North Star from Brunson and Tetsuo Hara. Yeah, I would 100%
May they both rest
agree.
in peace.
Yes, I agree. I think Fist of the North Star is a great starting point for anybody getting into anime. I think you'll thank me later. Just go ahead and watch it. I think it's an incredible series. Aren't
they revamping that?
I agree that Dragon Ball definitely started there, for sure.
Yeah, with the Fist of the North Star, they have finally finished the manga release in English. They've tried it twice before and they both stopped. Viz finally finished all It's either 17 or 19 volumes. So if you want the whole story, it's there. As far as the original TV series, 84, of course, it's rough animation. There's 150 episodes. It mostly is there, but because it was still being written, kind of isn't. We do have a new series coming out. It's partially done by Warner Brothers. I've seen the second preview. They finally put out a second preview for it. It looks a lot better than that first one did. That first one gave off the 2016, whatever anime that we talked about. What were we talking about before? That was Berserk. That Berserk one was not that good. It looked terrible. They fixed most of it. It looks good, and it is going to be damn near a 1-for-1 to the manga. So I will be watching it when it releases this year.
Okay. Real quick, this is what happens when you take the picture down, because all of a sudden Red has taken the lead. And I think it's because people are asking, well, red pill, blue pill, which is it going to be? That's actually not the question, and I probably should have given some more. This is the question.
More context.
Yeah, a little bit more context. Some of you guys can change your votes if you need to, but maybe, maybe we got a lot of young cats in the audience that's like, nah, bro, I'm going with Demon Slayer. I don't know what you're talking about. But that's the question. Red pill, blue pill. What you going with?
I can tell you one more thing about this. If you go to South America and if you dare disparage anything Akira Toriyama, yeah, they'll Maduro you.
Lord out
You'll get Maduroed.
Goku is Lord out in Brazil and South America. Yeah, you don't. They don't
draw your pistol, good sir. We are having a duel.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you very much for the super chats. I appreciate it. Let's give a little bit of all might love for all of you guys that drop super chats. Thank you very much. Here you go. All right, let's move on. I thought this was just funny. I just wanted to share this. I think Name might have shared it as well. Breaking news: Japanese family found their son watching anime in English dub.
Oh, you have brought shame upon us all. Shame upon you. Shame upon your cows.
Shame upon your family.
What are you doing?
You have dishonored us.
Funny. How dare you?
Japanese family found their son watching anime in English dub and immediately deported him to America where he belongs.
Right?
But
you know what? I wondered, like, because, you know, we always have the argument subs versus dubs. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I'm listening to anime in the background, I throw on a dub. I'll throw on a dub to listen to something in the background. I actually I'm going through Solo Leveling for like I don't know, maybe the 4th time now. I've watched that show over and over and over and over. But I'm like using it as like kind of background material. So I'm playing it, and then everything's on my Crunchyroll is just default Japanese. And then I'm like, I don't understand a word they're saying. I'm just playing it in the background. I said, so I switched it up to dub. The dub acting in Solo Leveling isn't bad. Yeah. I hadn't heard it before. And I was like, this is actually decent voice acting for the dubs. You know, so it depends on the anime in a lot of cases, but I actually thought they did a really good job.
You've seen those clips where they make fun of it, where they're like, when you're watching anime and dub, and then they go to take a bite, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
We had to go in there. It's like,
we showed that Cyphax.
And it's like,
yeah, we did that last week. We showed that clip last week.
It's too funny, man.
There are a few shows that really, truly should be watched in English, not only because arguably superior, but because of where they're actually set. Hellsing Ultimate is one of them.
Yep.
And then, well, I'll take it back. There's 3. It, Trigun, and oh shit, I just had it in my Cowboy Bebop. Although I don't know, I have a very tough relationship with that show.
I think it depends on the episode there, Brendan, when you're listening to it in dub or sub. Some episodes sound better in dub. Some episodes sound better in sub.
Yeah, it's gonna depend.
I was trying to I was trying to catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen the other day, and for some reason the only one that would play was the dub version. And it's like, because I've watched 2 seasons with sub, I was just like, I was lost with their voices. I was just like, if you're already a couple seasons in, it's kind of hard to get back. It's like, if I'm gonna watch in dub, I almost got to start from the beginning to listen to them, so I'm like used to their voices again. Because it was super weird. I was like, this is not any of these characters. Like it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
For some,
And EA, put that shit back on sub, bro. That's part of your training. Lock the fuck in.
Look, man, I understand, but it's like if I'm doing something like I'm over here working and this, I just got I got the thing just playing over there, and every once in a while I just kind of stare at it, and it's like unless I'm watching it, like if I'm watching it, it's in subtitle all day, every day. But if I'm just doing something and I just have it on as kind of a background, that's what I do. But yeah, I mean, I never watch. I can't remember the last one that I intentionally watched in subtitle for like the first time. Like I've never, like I'll go back and listen to a dub version, but everything is subtitled all the time. It's always.
I don't know. For me,
I just can't get it.
For me, I've just starting to watch anime. I mean, I'm used to dub, but I feel like this, when it's something that you really are into, you honestly do not mind watching it in the original content, as far as just with the Japanese, voices. Like for me, when I watch Frieren, it gets me more into the show because you're really paying attention to, honestly, the frame by frame. And I would say acting, even though it's not acting, but you pay attention more to it. You get more of that feeling in regards to what they're trying to convey to you. So, the dub, you could hear everything, but you just don't get that feeling. You're just listening to the words, but you're not really paying attention to anything. But when you're paying attention, when you cannot understand too much, you're really like, okay, you're trying to understand. You're seeing the body language. You're seeing the facial expressions is making you more aware of what's going on, and it gets you more into it. So
I've noticed dub kind of changes some of the words, it's like they change some of the words, like the meanings kind of don't really match up right. It's usually not that big of a difference, but at the same time, it's like it can. They have messed up some stuff to where it's like it doesn't translate properly, so they just use whatever they think is going to be right, and it's like, that doesn't really work, and so you do miss some context sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
Well, that would depend on how they're using it, because in some instances, what we may say, what may come across to us in certain ways, don't go across to them in that way. And like, you could have one expression in English that means something, but in Japanese that might mean like 6 different things. So it's very,
we got to get to
connected.
we got some localizers drama that we're gonna get to with Madam Savvy. I don't know if you guys saw that post.
No. I saw that.
Hilarious.
I saw that. I love Madam Savvy, and I seen that. I literally had to put. I was like, respect on her.
Bro,
name.
the Stacy switch up is crazy. A minute ago he was like, I guys, sometimes they got it. It's okay for them to switch it up, and now he's like, yeah, fuck them, does bro.
Hey.
All right, let's move on. We got a lot of topics, guys. We got a lot. Go ahead.
The Matt Walsh thing name has got me basically woke me up. I'm ready to go.
We about to get to Matt, man. We're not far away. We gotta touch on some of these other topics before we get there. We already talked about this, but it was in the menu, so let me bring it up. One Piece season 2 released in more than 200 theaters in the U.S., Canada, and Japan on March the 2nd. So I'm not sure what the strategy is for Netflix here, other than just, we've been doing this. We did it with Stranger Things, right? And we've been trying to release more things in theaters, and I think this was a decision that they made probably when they thought that Warner Brothers Discovery was going to be theirs. As it turns out, nope, it's not. But I guess it's still going forward. One Piece season 2, and this is the live action, of course. First 2 episodes headed to theaters for the special screenings. What do you guys think about this strategy? Do you think this is a smart move for Netflix to drop these in theaters?
No,
I
don't think so. I don't think that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it would depend on how it's being done, because the first off, Netflix would get money because this is their production. They're actually putting it in theaters now. They're riding high on season 1 right now, because from what I heard, Ichiro Oda was involved in it. Now, from what I've heard, he's not involved in season 2, and right now I think this is basically them trying to have fans put their toes in the water, dip their toes in the water, sort of. So it could go either way.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that I don't think that it's going to work is just something that I think strictly should just stay on streaming. I don't think that this has to be in the theaters. And then you're saying it's really in only 200 theaters. So it's in selected theaters. It's not something I see in AMC. AMC is not running it. So it's in other theaters. So you have to really go around and find a particular theater to be able to look for this. It's like, it's not available to just everybody in that way. So that's a little bit of a turnoff to me, as far as, if I'm a One Piece fan, I want to be able to have that accessibility to be able to go watch it where I can go watch it at. And I don't see
but it's also like they've been doing these. I mean, obviously they did with Stranger Things. They've done it with a few other things, to where like this is kind of like the testing grounds. They're seeing if this can work. And it's probably something as simple as, hey, even if we can make an extra 10 million, maybe 20 million off of something like this, just to recover the cost on some of these shows, it's another way for that. Also, it helps out the theaters. I think it's smart. I mean, how many times have you seen like an amazing, just look at some of your favorite shows, not even just anime, just regular TV shows that you would love to see that in a theater, like that epic ending. There's plenty of shows out there like that. And, theaters should definitely capitalize on it. And, these studios are going to find a way to do that. This might be becoming more and more common. And if it takes off and it does well, because a lot of these things, like somebody in the chat just said, hey, my theater is sold out already for it. Obviously it's going to take off. When you only have 200 theaters, whatever theaters available is probably going to get sold out. And so the bigger they get, it might not sell out as much, but at the same time, it helps recover costs. It's good for the theaters. It's kind of good all the way around, as long as the show is good, And I'm kind of for it. And I would totally understand if they start doing like a double feature where it's like, hey, let's do the last 2 episodes of a season, so you can watch it on the big screen. That'd be cool. Especially if it's
what is the runtime? I can't remember, because I think was it like,
they're usually like
45
45.
It looks like the runtime is
like
2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes for the first 2
sir.
episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
And
like
let me rephrase that. I thought it wasn't on AMC. It is on AMC. So I'm sorry. I retract that statement.
Okay.
But it's showing 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Nice. See, and that's good. That's a good thing. You got a feature-length movie for the most part, but it's 2 episodes, and it's kind of promoting getting people hyped, getting people talking about it. I think that's smart. We'll see if it's any good, though. I have my reservations about this second season. I like the first season just fine. I thought it was good, but second season, I'm like, I don't know, man. They already got a race swap in there, with what's your name, Nefertiti, and then you got
that was actually
I like.
They've already done some race swaps, but I'm always like skeptical of any second season of, not even just from Netflix.
Right? That was the other thing.
Netflix for one, but also like they're the one of the worst at it. But just almost any TV series nowadays, because they're like, oh, we hooked them, now let's throw on some bullshit. They always do that. Severance did that, or what they do is they use the second season as just a way to get to the third season. Like, so the second season is like, even Fallout season 2. There's nothing worth kind of like, you don't really need to watch that season. It's all set up for a third season. So it's
I don't like that.
I don't like when things don't really conclude.
I don't want to do that. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like, I want something to conclude, and sure, you can set something else up, sure, but don't make your whole season about setting up the next season. That's
exactly.
I don't like when they do that.
All right, look, let me bounce over to this, man. Speaking of the merger and what Netflix was trying to do, Paramount Global is now set to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery in a $110 billion deal, a move that could significantly impact the anime industry through Warner Brothers Japan. Anime titles potentially affected include, there's only really one in here that I care about, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But you also got Mob Psycho. I know Mob Psycho's huge. Record of Ragnarok, Terraformers, High Rise Invasion, Shaman King, and more. And then it says, if finalized, Paramount would inherit distribution and streaming rights tied to Warner Brothers Japan's catalog, potentially reshaping global licensing, availability, and platform competition. Thoughts on this, guys? I think that, obviously the merger of Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount is going to be huge. It's absolutely going to be bananas, but it's affecting anime as well. Warner Brothers Japan has some titles, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know if that's going to change how they distribute it. I don't think they're going to have anything to do with making. It's just more or less distribution. But what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, if it's not hurting the artwork in any way, as far as the formality of the anime, I mean, the distribution, it's not too much of an effect. I mean,
yeah,
to me, what I like from Warner Brothers anime is regards to their Batman animations. I like the Batman Samurai, the Batman versus the Yakuza. Those were entertaining to me. It was something that I was able to watch and, rewatch it as well. So, as long as they don't mess around with their anime in regards to that, then I'm fine. So since you said it's just distribution, hey, let it fly, let it go.
Let it go. Okay.
It sounds like most of the Paramount catalog, like, I'm not super familiar with. Like, I've tried to watch JoJo's. That one, I don't know. Everything about it is a little too limp-wristed for me. I get that it gets better and people, whatever, but it's like I don't know, man. I'm not into any of that. So I've tried, but other than that, like, I'm sure it gets better. I'm sure there's some redeeming qualities about it, but other than that, I've tried Mob
JoJo
Psycho
epic,
too.
bro.
I don't like
JoJo.
I don't like the animation on the Psycho Mob.
You don't like the animation on JoJo?
No, on Psycho.
Bro, Mob
I'm
Psycho,
just
are you
looking at the
side
list.
facts? Are you crazy? It's done by Studio Bones, who did God
Yeah,
King
it's
Kuda and
the
My Hero.
faces. It's the faces. I don't like their faces. Like, they just look so bland.
Well,
I
the
think
the
it's
the anime of Mob Psycho is basically him trying to be bland, because if you pay attention to the story, he
And
does
that's
not
what
want
they're going
to.
for. It worked, and it didn't do it for me. So that makes
Understandable. It doesn't always work for everybody. Shaman King, I think Paramount's going to have a good hold of that, because here's the thing with Shaman King, you really can't do too much to it. It's basically what it is. Now, as far as Paramount having it, I think that would be better, because with Netflix, we've seen how they do things, especially like when they try to make their own adaptations of stuff. God help me for Death Note. But I think Paramount would be better.
I mean, look, I'm glad you guys already probably know. I'm glad Paramount won the Warner Brothers Discovery bidding war. I'm very happy for that, mainly for the theaters. But it might be like a kind of a nice little, okay, they also got some anime under their belt, and maybe they can expand. And that would be dope, because, if they can expand what Warner Brothers already is working with, maybe get a little bit over from Netflix. See, Netflix needs competition as well. It can't just be Crunchyroll. I think they need to expand their anime division over with Warner Brothers or Paramount or whoever, and really, create some competition and get some of those titles away from Netflix and let there be some actual competition for anime. I really want to see that. It's not always easy, to make, to compete, in these global arenas. But I think now, with the amount of money that Paramount and Warner Brothers have combined together, I think this is an opportunity to maybe steal some of that anime market share away from Netflix and bring it over here. And I would love that, man. I would absolutely love that. Are there any anime IPs under old Paramount at all, DA? I don't think so. I'm not familiar with any.
I think
is Paramount Plus got? Is there anything on Paramount Plus? I don't think so.
I don't remember any, but I'll look.
I think Paramount at the
check it
very
out if you
least
don't
has.
mind.
I think Paramount
question.
does have at least the Avatar series, which a lot of people do say is considered an
kind of anime. Yeah, it's Western anime.
But they have the
Very Western
Nickelodeon,
anime,
yeah, they have the Nickelodeon stuff there.
Yeah, and Budgie Cat in the chat said it. Netflix made Saint Seiya woke and they gender swapped Andromeda. And I was like, yeah, that's why I don't really trust them with anime unless like they only show the stuff. I'm like, yeah, no. That's why I believe Paramount was better for it.
This is a good question right here.
Can I say something,
Yeah.
DA? You're like,
Yeah,
you know,
man,
you're gonna
bro, jump in, bro.
We're gonna, you're gonna like, you know, this is like jumping a little forward, but like, I was
Disavow.
watching your
No, I'm
like,
kidding.
I was watching your videos earlier on the Paramount purchase, and like, you know, you have all these people crashing out. Oh, everything's gonna become conservative, and then like you said, the best move for Paramount is just to make good art, keep it like neutral, just like don't pander to one side, and so
Yes.
like. You know, they have like some anime under their belt now. Like, you know, like we brought up JoJo's as an example. Like the best way to like, you know, grow that, just let JoJo's be what it is. People can say what they want about it, just let it be what it is. Like, don't try to like, you know, push it towards one direction or like, you know, change the way that story is being told because like, you know, you got like some you know, handshaking that you got to do with like, you know, Trump.
I would say Paramount Plus possibly might be one of the most balanced ones out there as far as their catalog goes, because it's like, sure, they have some just woke garbage, you know, that all these companies do, but then you got stuff like you know, Tulsa King, you got all the stuff that Taylor Sheridan did. All those ones are massive hits, and those are very more conservative, maybe slightly more right-leaning, but at the same time, they're kind of even more just moderate. They're not even that, but it's like most of their stuff is pretty in the middle, but they just allow everything on there, and it doesn't seem like they're pushing one thing or another. Like, you know, when you go into Netflix and whatever the new thing is, they're just slamming it in your face all the time. If you go into Paramount Plus, they're just like, yeah, it's there if you want to click on it, but we're not just slamming you with it.
But Tony makes that point right there. Like lately, South Park, like they've been going overboard in regards to Trump, and they're, you know,
well, they got
that's
paid
what
$1
I'm
billion
saying.
to do that.
I don't think that Paramount is going to be all super hardcore MAGA or whatever. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think Paramount's going to be like kind of down the middle, or either down the middle, or they're going to let both sides have their turn. And they're not just going to be like, yeah, we're just going one side and that's it. I think that a lot of people are like worried about that, but I don't think that's what Paramount's going to do, because Paramount wants to, they want to be successful. And if you're going to be successful, you actually have to play to all sides. You cannot try to play to one side or the other side. You have to stay, have to really stay neutral.
And even if it was being bought out by like conservative people or whatever, let's just say, because that's what they're claiming with the Ellisons and everything. It's like let the work speak for itself. What do people want to watch more? And you know, release both sides, release it all, and then, you know, let the work speak for itself. And like, you know, they might start prioritizing things a little bit more, like, hey, this stuff actually sells, this doesn't. I mean, that's just smart business at that point. But, you know,
just
the thing
don't
about
let them
that
bring
was
on
like when it came to like stuff like Tulsa King and all that. I want to say Paramount is following what Sony does in their music division. They will basically bring like 3, 4, maybe 5 shows and just put it out there and see what everybody gravitates to, and then they will use those to like with the successful ones, they will use those to basically make up for like the one failure they'll probably have. So that's what I see Paramount doing, and it actually does work for them. Now, like Tony Ellis just said in the chat, the Starfleet Academy, that's basically the one failure here so far, but you really can't blame that on the Ellisons.
Yeah, because they didn't
that came
like
before
that.
them.
Yeah, most of the stuff that they're saying right there in the chat, it wasn't greenlit by the Ellisons. It was greenlit before that. So you can't really fault them in regards to those failures. Even Halo, you can't fault them in regards to that. So
everything that came before. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that we still have to consider is who backs Ellison, because it's not just him with all the money.
Of course not.
He has the Saudis behind him, and they will, if they're making money, they'll tolerate more than what they probably should, but there are limits to what they will or will not support. In the end, it is better that Paramount got it. As far as how much better, debatable. We'll see. As far as what they'll come up with or how they'll merge everything or who gets what or that, I don't know. I don't know. It's a mess.
We gotta wait and see. It's a process. You know,
Yeah.
we won't know everything today or in 3 months or in 5 months or in 10 months. This is probably a year-long deal. Things are going to be unfolding as the time goes on, but I'm still happy with Netflix not winning because
Oh, it's definitely better than that. Yeah. Netflix sucks
because number
balls.
one, theaters,
I hate them so
and
much.
number two, I just didn't want Netflix to get all of those amazing properties because they were going to woke them up.
Oh, yeah. They'd royally
and-
F them up. So,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
never. Now, from what I've heard, Larry Ellison is one of those guys who's like, I would say he's like the Ike Perlmutter, somewhat.
Mhm.
He's one of those guys who's like, I want to know basically just the bare bones of it. Like whatever is going to happen later, that's probably going to be developed later. But I want to know the bare
Yeah.
bones so that way we can green light that. If you give us something like meat on the bone, we'll let you do whatever you want with it.
Well, yeah, you also got to realize like Hollywood in general is always about 5 years behind whatever anybody's talking about. I mean, they're slowly catching up. Maybe they might be 4.5 years behind nowadays, but they're still like years behind what everyone's talking about now. We won't see a change for 4 to 5 years. Like nothing. So nothing's really going to change. And it's not going to be like, hey, cancel all this. It's not going to come and cut any of this. It's all going to be the same stuff that's already greenlit and everything's
Right,
going
right.
through. So it's
Yeah, like you just mentioned, like
by the time
Sci-Fi-
this stuff takes over, one second, just I got one last thing. To say.
yeah.
By the time this stuff takes over, Trump will probably be out of office. Like, you know, we'll have a new president by the time this stuff comes into effect.
We have the prime example of that right now. The Ellisons have taken over. They didn't greenlight Starfleet Academy, but Starfleet Academy is out there right now because it was in the pipeline and it had to come out at the time that it had to come out. So it is what it is, you know. So we're going to probably see some major changes with Paramount. Maybe 2028, maybe by 2028, we start seeing some differences. But it's definitely whatever's in the pipeline right now. They got to work their way through it, and then we're going to move forward. Let's go ahead and actually hit a couple of super chats. Oh, go ahead.
Ellison said in the call though that it may take anywhere between 6 to 12 months. He literally stated it.
Right.
So that's the forecast.
Yeah, look. All of these deals don't happen like that. It's like, they bought it, it's sold. The leadership has changed. Everything. No. This is going to be like next year because even when they bought Skydance, it took them a year to get Skydance. Like Skydance was over and done with in 2024 in terms of the purchase, but then they have to go through all of the regulatory and they have to make sure that the board approves. There's a lot of machinations behind the scenes that are taking place. But once those take place, then everything kicks in. So you always got to keep that in mind. All right, look, let's hit these super chats, man. We got a couple of super chats to get to. We got a lot of topics. We're an hour in. I think we've only gotten through 2 of the 10 topics and we got to discuss tonight. Thomas Dean for 5. I love JoJo season 1. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon, but for adults. LOL. The ridiculous dialogue was amazing. I love JoJo. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure season 1, man. One of the best seasons that I've watched of an anime. I agree with you, Thomas Dean. It's a legendary series.
I'll have to find one of my gay shirts and put it on before I watch it.
Yeah, it's gay as
maybe
hell,
I'll feel more comfortable watching it. I don't know.
It's a gay series, all right. Sci-Fax, just embrace it, accept it, watch it. It's great. It's great. All right. By the time once you accept what JoJo is, it's awesome. But you got to accept what it is first. So that's the ticket. You got to accept that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is bizarre. All right, it's wild. Thank you very much, Thomas Dean, for the 5. We also got Zodlander for 100. What is that? Swedish krona? I think that's Swedish krona.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zodlander for dropping Swedish money in my pocket. Thank you very much, man. Loved season 1 of One Piece, but Netflix season 2 curse. We just talked about that. Might happen. And the trailers were not the best. I 100% agree. I did not like any of the trailers that were there. I liked Chopper. All right. I liked Tony Chopper. He looked good. Music obviously was pretty solid, but that was about it, man. You know, I'm not really sure how all of this is going to come together. However, they surprised me with a good season 1 after a mid trailer. They might do that again. Yep. I think listen, man, I'm hoping they cook. I'm hoping it's good, but I have my reservations. Like you said, the season 2 curse of Netflix is there. You always got to consider that. Although I thought like Wednesday season 2 was okay. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was all right, But anyway, you guys got any thoughts on that, man? I think, we already kind of talked about it, but I think, yeah, it was a mid trailer. That first trailer was really, really like what the
I haven't seen the trailers. I have seen some of the character designs. Character designs are spot on. Like for Mr. 3 and for Miss All Sunday, I wasn't too keen on that at first, but now that I've seen her, yeah, it's Nico. I out of between the two, I will openly admit it. I am a Nico Robin simp. Massive.
Yeah, Smoker
Nico
looks
Robin
good
simp.
too. I mean, like the character designs. You don't like Smoker?
Brandon?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Is there room in the Nico Robin Club?
Of course, there's always room in the Nico Robin Club. With all those hands that she has, there's always room in the club.
Damn, Stacy asking for the 2-man.
I was just saying, I'm part of the club, man. Nico got me.
Yeah, I love Nico Robin. There's a lot of people that don't like her because she, in a lot of ways, she really doesn't do all that much. But you know what? I'm okay. I love Nico Robin anyways, especially if they actually get to go to Water 7 and to Ennie's lobby. If you don't fall in love with Nico there, then you've got a problem. A big one.
Oh, here's the thing. I'm wondering, after seeing Luffy basically do what he did, how he basically morphed his devil fruit, I'm wondering what will happen to her.
Yeah. Nico!
I mean,
it's Robin.
She looks good.
Yeah, it's Miss All Sunday.
She looks good. I'm not going to be upset with this at all, man. This is fine. I'm happy. I'm good with this. This is a solid look. And that's like I said, with the exception of one particular casting, I think they've gotten it done. So I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to see, man. Vivi does not look like Vivi.
Can we get
Vivi's a problem for me.
Can we get a T rating for Nico Robin?
You don't want
Is
that.
T in the chat?
You don't want a T rating for her. Not.
Remember, T, I don't think T would mess that rating up. That's one you can't mess up.
He'd be like his last call at the bar material right there. That's what he would say. Because it's just always wrong. But
Yo, salute to Thomas Dean and Zodlander for the super chat, bread and love. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it much. Let's go ahead and give you guys a little all might, and then it's on to the next topic. Here you go.
All
right. Looks like we got a new Evangelion anime series that has just been announced with the video. Have you guys seen this trailer? Semi-trailer? Names nodding. Stacy, Brandon, have you guys checked this out?
Kind of. There was one person in the chat that wanted to see what Vivi. This is what Vivi
okay. Here we go.
Like. That's what the Princess of Alabasta is supposed to look like.
You might want to put a little bit of light on there.
Yeah.
Light.
That's how she looks. Okay.
That's how she's supposed to look. Yeah.
That's how she's supposed to look. But yeah, they didn't really make her look like that. Okay, let's talk about Evangelion. I mean, obviously, legendary series, Neon Genesis Evangelion, one of the legendary series of all time. Great mecha. All right, we talked about mecha a little bit. Amazing, but it looks like they're going to be dropping a new series out. And here's the trailer. And I think we could probably watch this. Obviously, it's in Japanese, but lots of interesting little visuals there. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Before you do, I have not heard this. I have not seen this. So this is literally my first time seeing it.
Oh, nice.
You should translate for us.
I'm afraid not. I'm not going to be able to do it, man.
Do not get him in trouble, name.
Do I have the volume up? Okay, there it is.
I almost thought this was a trailer for Expedition 34, dude. What the hell?
There's only one question that I can ask. Is Yoko Taro going to give us the completely, totally depressed version, or is he going to give us the upper version that has been redone like 5 times? And now this is 6. I can't do NG. Yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's one of those series that I refuse to do it. I just can't do it.
Really?
Yeah, there's not many that I will say I will not watch. This is one of them, precisely because the original creator just can't. His first run was exactly how it needed to be, with the exception of running out of money there at the end. Past that, every time that he's been on his uppers and he's felt actually not depressed, it's not very good from what I keep getting told. And now he's turned it over to Yoko Taro, the Nier Automata guy. Yeah, he looks like he's about as depressed as the rest of them. So
you guys saw a lot of overlay text. Here's what it said, all right? The internal summer vacation. This is our paradise. This is our graveyard. What you can hear is the eternal song of sin. And it closes with the stark declaration. Production is on a brand new Evangelion series launches. May those souls rest in peace. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't like Evangelion, but I think it's one of the greats of all time. I just wanted to hear thoughts on this. If you guys had any thoughts, if not, we can move on. But this was one I threw in at the last second because I was like, oh shoot, they got a new Evangelion series. So I didn't know if you guys had any thoughts on it. Any fans of Evangelion in the chat, you know, sound off.
I never heard of this before, but the music was very soothing. Like the music had me like, ooh, I could put that in the background and fall asleep on that.
Evangelion is one of the original mech animes of the 90s. It's not to the level of, let's say, like Macross or Gundam, but it does hold. It's basically one of the top 3. The main thing about it is basically trying to prevent Armageddon at the hand, which is basically transcribed in a set of scrolls, Angel, while some people are trying to manipulate it for their own reasons. Now, the one thing I really never liked about it was the fact that they were using children to basically warp reality. And I'm like, the way some of these characters are, one of these people is gonna just go off the rail on them. It's just out there.
I'd rather watch Gurren Lagann. And that one goes completely off the friggin' rails. I'd rather watch it than the Depression.
Brandon, there are no rails.
It is a very depressing. It is a very depressing anime.
Yes, it
sounds like it with that music. Like I said, it was putting me to sleep. I'm sitting here like,
it'll be interesting to see how Yoko Taro does it. You know, if you've played Nier Automata, you'll understand him. And to me, he seems to have a lot of those same traits when why can't I think of his name? When he's depressed, because he wrote Neon Genesis while he was massively depressed.
Yeah.
But when he got his uppers and started doing, that's when they started doing the remakes and fixed the endings and that. And some people love it, some people don't. And I said, it's just one of those things that I just can't bring myself to do. It's just not my thing. Not my thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
Jagged
this.
in the chat has it right.
I don't know if Tankella. I am working on my Rumble. I'm trying to get Rumble going. I was talking about it right before the stream started. I was like, bro, remember Angel? I was saying, man, I got to figure out how to do Rumble. So that is something that I'm working on in the background, just so you guys are aware.
Something I got DA beat on. I have more Rumble followers. I got
a Rumble account, and there was a point in time where I was uploading the Rumble when like YouTube would mirror it immediately. Like you could do the mirroring through YouTube, but that's a done deal, so I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, that's a YouTube being YouTube,
yeah,
not being nice because
I've tried to link it up to StreamYards and stuff. I went through the whole process, and I was supposed to do multi streams. I've done it like a bunch of different times where I'd set up, I have it all going, and then Rumble just doesn't play my live stream, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to be doing something wrong. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think
I'm following step-by-step videos, and it just doesn't. They don't link up. Yeah, it's really annoying.
Well, look, we were talking about depression, and what's really depressing are the anime opinions of one Matt Walsh.
Somebody's about to
who?
Stacy Gardner is cracking his knuckles.
Stacy.
That's why I showed up tonight. I came for this segment.
Bro, Stacy's getting possessed by the spirit of tea for this rant.
I see it already.
No.
He's about to step in the bull pit.
Oh, I'm about to pull him to the front of the congregation. That's what I'm about to do.
So I don't know if you guys saw this. This is earlier this week. Matt Walsh had something to say. All right, let me actually give you the background for this. Let's back it up a little bit. So he was asking this question. He says, hey, hold on. This is why I get so annoyed with the dumb conservatives who denigrate sports ball or whatever. Sports are a fundamental part of the culture, just like art. You can't pretend that you want to preserve American culture while at the same time totally dismissing these elements of culture. You don't have to be a fan of any sport to write off the whole thing as beneath you, or just makes you a pretentious dork at best or a nihilist at worst, or both. This guy, Johnny Bonnie, said, hey, apply this same logic, Matt, to how you feel about video games, anime, nerd culture, etc. This is what Matt Walsh came back and said. Anime is not a fundamental part of American culture, and I really shouldn't have to explain why. And you guys can see the ratio was on and cracking, all right? He had 1.3 thousand likes. He had 1.5 thousand comments and 712 retweets. Everybody has something to say about Matt's comments, and we're going to talk about it, man. Now, look, let me say this. No disrespect to Matt Walsh. I think he's a smart dude, but I think this is a blind spot, a huge blind spot that somebody tried to point it out. Said, hey, Matt, why don't you apply this same thinking to culturally relevant things like anime, video games, nerd culture, etc. All right. So somebody tried to steer Matt in the right direction. Matt didn't understand. All right. And so, like you said, Stacy, he got brought before the congregation. Now I'm gonna let Stacy go off because he's been waiting on this, but I'm gonna just hit a couple of little replies that we saw that we thought were pretty interesting. All right. This one, again, this is replying or retweeting Matt. Conservatives always complain about anime's huge culture or huge influence on the youth, but we wouldn't be importing culture from a foreign country if Western media hadn't utterly abdicated the mandate of heaven. If you're concerned about the youth taking the anime pill, fund better culture. So I think that was a perfect response to that. I really like this one right here by Mentis Wave. The real question is, why has anime done a better job at creating Western high fantasy works than the West has? All right. Look at the ideology of those in charge of Hollywood. The answer is clear. Until that gets fixed, whining about younger generations enjoying anime is tone deaf. What do they show us? What do they show us?
Frieren. Because Frieren is the natural successor to Tolkien in terms of the setting, the culture that they're talking about, all the Germanic names. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. No. That's fine, man. That's fine. That's basically where all of this is going. Kang Min Lee, a counterpoint. Western culture portrayed by Westerners. He got a black dude in a wheelchair. I don't know what the hell's going on with this situation, right? I don't know what. Does anybody know what this show is? I have no idea what the show is.
I don't know what the show is. But
No. It's her telling him he's the fastest runner she's ever seen, and actually meaning it.
I don't know what the show is, but I think if I remember correctly, that dude is supposed to like be one of like Britain's kings.
Oh wait, is this Bridgerton?
Really?
I hope not.
I have no idea.
Oh my God. Like I got a friend that loves Bridgerton. One of my homegirls, she loves Bridgerton. She swears by Bridgerton. I'm going to talk shit to her when I see her next. This is what you've been watching. You've been watching this bullshit, black dudes. And like, what is this? What is he sitting in? What is this? Is this a wheelchair throne?
Dude,
like,
no, it looks like a split. It looks like a split in half fucking rum barrel, like a rum barrel with wheels on it.
That's probably one of
those. You're right. I see the barrel. Yeah, the line.
It looks like a rum barrel or a whiskey.
This is retarded. Meanwhile, this is what Western culture portrayed by the Japanese looks like. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of that.
Fantastic.
Very much so. This is what Disney used to do back in the days.
Yes.
I don't need to play any more of the music, but you get the picture. Like Western culture, Western entertainment can't do Western culture anymore, and anime does it better. Anime does the West better than the West. And it seems like Matt Walsh, I don't know if he's saying, well, anime is not a fundamental part of American culture. Well, honestly, anime is an absolute part of American culture now because the West has abandoned its responsibility to give us the culture that resonates with us. And so, Matt, guess what? The kids are taking off. They're still Western influenced, but they're looking for their influences elsewhere. They're going outside of the West. They're going to Japan to find Western culture. Explain that to me. Explain why this is a problem. I'll let you go. I'm gonna let Stacy. Let's Stacy.
Run
you got
wild.
something for me?
Yeah, we gotta let him go first.
I'll let Stacy go. Go for it.
What I recommend for Matt Walsh is basically to. I'm gonna say it like this. Does anybody here know about Gamergate?
Gamergate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gamergate was like
I remember
2018 or some shit, right? Yeah.
It was 10 years ago now.
Something
There was Gamergate too. My bad.
Yeah, something to that effect. There was a woman who basically helped Gamergate basically make it into the mainstream to where a lot of people actually paid attention. No, not her. The woman's name is Christina Hoff Summers, DA. I put a link to one of her videos in the private chat. She was one of those people who, like Matt Walsh, did not know what was going on. Now, what I'm going to say is this. Matt Walsh needs to do what she did. What she did was very simple. When we had gaming journalism and mainstream calling gamers basically racist, toxic, sexist bullcrap, you know what she did? She went to a video game convention and basically talked to him, found out why it appealed to him so much. She basically learned about the gaming culture to the point to where, guess what? She could literally sit here and say, yeah, these people are lying on gamers. What I recommend Matt Walsh do is find people who love anime and say, why do you gravitate towards it? Think about it like this. I would say this, if me and DA could have a chat with him, he would probably change his tune, because he's basically doing the same thing a lot of other people did. And he was looking from the outside, talking about what's on the inside instead of actually engaging with it. Now, like I said, if he actually got involved and actually seen why people go to it, why youth are looking at Western entertainment and going, no, this is trash, I'm going to go watch this, he would basically be singing a different tune. It's more of his thing of, I don't know much about it, I'm not going to really engage with it, but I'm going to have my opinion. And that's what's getting him cooked.
Yeah.
Laziness.
Yeah,
Well, if he was smart, what he would do, because he's good at making documentaries. Like his documentaries that he's done have been really good. Like What Is a Woman was pretty decent, and then Am I Racist was fantastic and very hilarious. And it's like eye-opening to a lot of people. If he did this with the gaming culture and he just did a deep dive into it, because he obviously knows how to do these documentary style films and stuff, and he's good at it, very decent at it at minimum, whatever. Like he would learn a lot and start realizing, like, dude, I mean, we talk about this all the time, like how, like, so politics and pop culture are, you know, they're kind of two sides of the same river, you know, what they flow up and down the same stream and they influence each other. Well, one of the biggest influences right now is anime. Is there's a reason that it's getting pushed so much, and it's because you can find all this stuff in anime that you can't find in Western stuff out here. And because of that, I mean, right? this video you're playing right, this video that you're playing right here is a perfect example. You know, like if you go online and you think you'll find videos of people talking bad about like America or whatever, but it's like, this was made by Japanese people. This is what a lot of Japanese people think of American culture. This is what they think of the West: elegance, excellence, fantastic. Like they literally look up to, like they see us in a higher light than what Americans actually see us as now, or at least let's say half of America does. And it's like, look, there's a reason for that.
Part about it. Look, here's the name is struggling to get in. He on the struggle bus. Name good. Name is struggling to get in here.
Hey man, you got to get that password to that Starbucks internet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really. Look, here's the problem, man, is that young people, all right, are locked in with anime. This is why young people have gravitated to anime, is because anime is doing it right. The Gen Z crowd, the Gen Alpha crowd, they could care less about Western entertainment. And Matt can sit up here and say, well, it's not a part of American culture. Well, unfortunately, Matt, it is, all right, because young people have adopted this as their culture, all right. Matt doesn't seem to understand this. Young people, all right, young people under the age of, I would say under the age of 30, have pretty much adopted anime as theirs. They don't care about Marvel. They don't care about Star Wars. They don't care about all these other entertainment options. They care about anime, all right? This is what they're watching. And the fact that you don't understand that and you keep trying to down talk anime means that shows you how disconnected you are from the actual culture. And if you can't connect with the culture, you cannot influence the culture. The culture is just, oh, well, Matt is saying that this stuff isn't American culture. I'm going in the other direction. I'm not going to listen to this guy. And then the people that actually do understand culture, they are going to say, you know what? I'm going to listen to this other guy over here because at least he understands the influence of anime. That's the problem with Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh, as smart as he is super stupid in this particular regards, is that he thinks that Americans are not rocking with the anime culture, and they absolutely are. And the reason that they are is because American Western culture, I should say Western culture, has let us down. All right, time and time again, with all of the problems, girl boss, DEI, race swaps, all of that crap. It has absolutely destroyed Western entertainment to the point where the kids are now like, hey, man, I just want good storytelling. I'm going to get over here to anime. My kids don't even watch. One of my older sons, he watches a little bit of Marvel, but my kids watch anime. I tried to raise my kids on Marvel and DC and Star Wars. They wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. They're here with anime because anime is doing it right. They're just telling good stories. And this is the problem. Matt Walsh is a dope. He doesn't fucking get it. And this is the reason why anime is taking over.
Well, like the people in the chat are like they're kind of going over the word fundamental. Is it a fundamental part? No. Is anime a fundamental part? No. But you know what it is? Entertainment is. And guess where we're getting all our entertainment nowadays? Anime. Anime is now
Tell
our
a
entertainment.
young man
so
in his
anime is the new fundamental entertainment that are people.
yeah,
are
that's what
turning
I'm saying.
towards.
Like, tell a kid that's
what it
15
is.
years old it's not a part of his culture. And he would laugh in your face because all of his friends who are all Americans, guess what? All of those American buddies that he goes to with school, all they talk about is anime. All they talk about is what's the latest anime you watching. And they're reading manga and they're starting to get involved knee deep in the Japanese culture. You could say it's not a fundamental part of American culture, maybe traditional. If you go back, like 40 years, yeah, sure. Even when I was a kid coming up, and I'm pretty sure it's the same with you guys, anime was kind of on the fringe. Like, we watched, people knew about Voltron. People knew about
an
Robotech.
outcast if you watched it. You were an outcast.
Yeah, you were a nerd. You were a geek. Now,
you
anime
played Magic
is like
the Gathering
so
and watched anime. Like,
yeah, bro, you wanted the good dudes, man. You watch anime. This is the real. Like, again, this is what I'm saying. The culture is shifting. And it's because of people like Matt Walsh that don't understand why the culture is shifting. This is the reason why Western entertainment is just done for, man. It's over with because they don't get it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, let Brandon cook. Go ahead, Brandon. I know you got something to say.
There's one thing that we are missing in all of this. We dropped the bomb on Japan. We rewrote Japan and their history. Their animation division is American. They were inspired by what we were doing, by what Hanna-Barbera was doing, by what Disney was doing. Astro Boy, all the stuff from the 60s and the 70s are fundamentally their interpretation of Western culture. So yes, anime is indeed a fundamental part of American culture. Absolutely, it is.
The thing I see, and the thing I see, and like I said it before, you're okay, Angel. The thing I said, and I'm going to say it again. What Matt Walsh needs to do is talk to someone who actually loves this stuff, and then he would actually say, "Is it fundamental? No, but you know what? Maybe I don't need to be crapping on people who like it. Maybe what I need to do is say, hey, why is it? While it may not be fundamental, what can I learn from it, and then incorporate in what we're doing." That's the only thing he's doing. He's shooting himself in the foot by putting statements like that out, and it's killing him.
But this is my thing. I mean, I understand everybody's point, and it's very valid, and it's not any lies. It's all truth. But this is what I'm seeing in regards to it. Anime is coming up, but it's not a fundamental part of American culture right now. You know what I mean? It's something that is a niche, like you said, DA, because the kids are rebellious right now. So it is on that niche. It's on that tip where everybody wants to watch something different, because what we're offering, like you say every time, it's not for the youth. They keep regurgitating what it is that they're watching. So in regards to what, Dan said, you have to look at it in the aspect like football, like in a football game. Like, this is how I'm looking at it. If we was to watch or put everybody in a football arena, like the Super Bowl, and we were to put on anime, do you think a majority of the fans would sit there and rock with anime in that way? It would be the niche, like it was like with Bad Bunny. It will be a majority of the people would be like, well, this is okay, but I don't really understand. And a lot of other people are going to sit there and say, you know what? I feel you. I like it because this is what I rock with. And this majority, like you're saying, is the youth. You still have to think about a majority of the people in the Midwest. Like, are they watching anime? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, more.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's not a lot, but not as much as we
the
think
West
it
is
though.
literally watching. I mean, you can just look at the rise of like what the movies have been doing. It's like you go back 4 years ago, you drop an anime movie out here, you'd be lucky to break like 100 million or whatever. Maybe there might be one that got a little over it. Nowadays, we got stuff that's beating out Superman in the West. Like what is happening there? Like, there's obviously a shift. There's something that is changing out here.
But it's just the
anime. Is it like part of it right now? Maybe not fully, but it's definitely integrating itself. It's literally becoming a part of it. And yeah, so to not
But it's
observe
always
that,
been
or
around,
to not
though.
observe that and to not acknowledge it, is that's a fault on his side. And if he wants to be going after the youth, which is what a lot of these kind of political kind of people want to do, is you got to get the next up and coming generation. Well, what's the next generation looking at? Well, anime is the thing. Anime is that's going to be the thing that's leading a lot of this stuff forward. Whether people like it or not, doesn't really matter. It's just facts. Like you can literally just look at the numbers, and the numbers are only rising. You don't see these anime movies doing badly out here in the West because it's getting bigger and bigger.
But let me ask you a question.
There's a reason for
it. Let's say the entertainment was not as bad as it was right now. Do you think anime would still be on the rise as it is now? Because like you're pointing out,
well, I'm pretty sure it would. No, let me answer that.
Because
I
of
think
that,
we're not dealing with hypotheticals. We're dealing with what's actually happening.
American-led entertainment. I do believe that. I 100% agree with that position. But the fact is that American entertainment is not doing the job. It's not getting the job done. What is getting the job done? Listen, people could care less about your ideology. They just want to be entertained. And that's the problem, is Hollywood doesn't entertain us. That's the problem. All right.
And I agree with you.
We know it. We talk about it all the time. And that's why we, look, I saw this article. I wanted to bring this up. All right. How Gen Z anime fans are reshaping American protests. They walking around with Luffy flags. All right. They walking around with One Piece flags. Why? This is part of the culture. Hey, how do we protest out here? They protested with an anime flag, bro. This is what I'm saying, man. These people have checked completely out. They are rocking with the East. They are rocking with anime. They could care less. Even when they protested with a One Piece flag. That's how deep this shit gets.
I mean, I feel you, but I feel like this in regards to Japan. Do you think they will rock with seeing something like this out there like that? Like in that way?
That's the point. That's beside the point, though, man. Like I said, I'm going back to what Matt. Look, let me show y'all this. Mm-hmm. We all know that the State of the Union took place this week, right? Mm-hmm. We all know that the State of the Union took place this week. You probably already know what video I'm about to show. All right. You already know what video I'm about to show. All right. PsyOp anime. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, man. Let's go ahead and play this because I thought this was was absolutely hilarious. And the people like Matt Walsh, they don't understand. This is where the kids are. This is going to influence way more kids than anything else, man. This is going to influence a ton of young Gen Z voters or Gen Alpha that's going to be coming into the next voting election. This is going to influence a lot of people because they decide to push this through anime. All right, watch this.
恥を知るべきだ。
この人たちは狂っている。卵の価格は下がっている。ダウ平均は5万ポイントを超えている。こんな負け犬どもの言うことを聞くな。アメリカは復活した。
That right there, okay, that right there is way more culturally influential when it comes to young voters than anything going on outside of, in Hollywood or whatever, because it's anime, all right? It's anime, and anime is absolutely dominating American culture right now. Maybe not in Matt's sphere, but for, millions upon millions of young Gen Z audiences, this is what they're watching, man. They're watching anime, and this type of, you can call it propaganda, whatever you want to call it. This will resonate with them.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Like I said, I don't disagree. But the thing is, we have to look at everybody. It's just not youth. Like, I understand the youth is rocking it and they're leading it and they're going to take it there. But right now, like, you still have a majority of Americans. Like, I could sit there. What kills me is that you still have a lot of females that when I sit there and say I like anime or I will rock and watch an anime, I could literally ask 10 females and I guarantee you maybe 3 or 4 out of them will say, yeah, I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get to the anime.
You got to get to the anime conventions, man.
I'm not saying they're not there. Like I said, I'm not saying they're not there, DA. But what I'm saying, when it comes to everyday people walking down the street, if you was to sit there and ask 10 people, hey, do you know anything about Dragon Ball Z? Do you know anything about, like, a majority of them would not know these things. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's not something that is a popular thing. Like if you were to ask them, hey, who's He-Man? Hey, who is, Superman? They will know these names.
No, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like it's still not an American fabric in that way where
give it
maybe
time.
20 years from now, yes, it will be.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Look,
But
if
right
the West
now,
can get its shit together in 20 years, anime will be the dominant, like mainstream entertainment form of entertainment. Because all of our kids are growing up. My kids are growing up on anime. Their friends talk about anime all the time. There's anime channels springing up overnight. Anime is starting to dominate more and more and more. Okay, so if Western entertainment is just going to sit on their hands and not do anything about it and be like, well, we're still going to push woke bullshit. All right, then this is what everybody's going to be watching anime. And everybody's going to be looking to Japan for their cultural influences. And Japan understands that because remember, we've been doing articles where Japan is saying anime is our #1 export and we need to keep it true to what? To Japan. Don't go global. Don't try to push a global agenda. Push Japan's agenda. And so you're going to start seeing more and more Japanese influence.
Yeah, the Americans have dropped the ball, both in not making stuff, but even let's take some of our legendary IPs that you mentioned. He-Man, Thundercats, all the crap that we grew up in, the Gen Xers that grew up with, the Zennials like myself, because I do claim both parts of that. But even going back to, let's say, the baby boomers, there's a lot of their stuff that they grew up with, their IPs, that have been absolutely bastardized beyond recognition over the past, even going back maybe 10, 15, 20 years. There's no connection to that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
But my fear is that,
and it's sad because it didn't have to be that way.
It did not. Exactly, man. Exactly. It did not have to be that way. Go ahead, Angel.
But my fear is the people now that are paying attention to anime is going to taint this. Like, perfect example, you have Megan Thee Stallion about to drop an anime. Why do we need a Megan Thee Stallion anime?
That's not an anime. That's an abomination.
That is what I'm saying. You're going to have a lot of people now thinking that, since I'm a fan of anime, I could be able to create an anime based off of my life and make it sick. Nah. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way. I don't care if you get
Angel, when does episode 1 of Torquisha drop?
I don't know, but I might have to make a video about that because it's just ridiculous that they're greenlighting it. That's
Torquisha episode 1, Pop and Lock edition. What is going on here?
Like, it's just crazy that you're gonna have a lot of different people now, in Hollywood, a Steph Curry anime out of nowhere. Next thing you know it, a LeBron James, all these different.
See, that's what happens. They're going to attach themselves to something popular. Why? Why are they going to do that? Because it's popular and they want to get the young people. Because if you get them when they're young, if you get somebody when they're 15, between 15, 20, 25, they'll be your customers for life. And that's what the West doesn't seem to understand. Japan does. But what Japan is saying, hey, don't globalize it. We don't want global, a global message. We want it focused strictly on Japan. Cool Japan. We talked about it. Name is gone. But we talked about cool Japan. All right. Where it's like, hey, we want Japan to be at the forefront of all of our outgoing, anime, manga, whatever you name it. Okay. That's what we care about. That's what the West, they've co-opted all of these franchises, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, etc. And they've completely torpedoed them because they just won't stick to the script. Hey, just tell good stories. That's all we really want. Anime is doing that, and that's the issue. All right? That's the problem. Old school Disney animation, when it was one of the most fundamental parts of American culture and still is today, even if it's pretty bad. Anime is not a fundamental part of U.S. culture. Tony, what I'm saying is you're thinking historically. I'm talking about right now. All right. Yeah. What are kids watching right now? They're not watching Disney, man. They're not. You're talking about historically, and I can understand that if you're looking at it from a historical perspective, you're not wrong. But what I'm talking about is what are my kids watching? My kids are not watching anime, or excuse me, not watching Disney. They're watching anime. That's what my kids watch. And that's what they talk about. And if you check YouTube channels, that's what those kids are talking about. That's what everybody's discussing. Nobody's creating like, hey, I got a Disney channel. I want to talk about Pixar movies. Nobody's doing that. They're locked in on anime, and that's what they're focused on. And that's what I think a lot of people are missing. They're missing that point. All right, is that anime is taking over and dominating young people. Maybe you're not watching it. Maybe hey, we're all here and still think anime is kind of like a fringe thing. That ain't it, man. Anime ain't fringe no more. Anime is mainstream. It's mainstream for kids under the age of like 20, you know?
Well, that's
Name,
the thing, it's like,
you've
you know,
been hanging out. Name
some-
just been popping in and out. Name, are you here?
Yo, what's up? The camera's dead, but I can still speak.
Okay.
But it's like,
Name.
yeah, if it needs to be
Wait.
historic-
I gotta step away. Let Name talk first. Let him just get his points out because he's been dipped out for a minute, and then you guys can jump in. I'll be right back though. Go ahead. Name, you first.
Well, I've been listening to the stream while I'm trying to like get this shit fixed, and I can't, so I'm just gonna hop back on for now. But yeah, it's like the West pretty much gave up on. I wouldn't say like completely gave up because they're still trying to like create content, but they pretty much let the left, or what we consider the left, as like they gave up like a really important stronghold, which is the culture. You see it in Marvel, you see it in DC, you see it in like, you know, all the other ones. Like He-Man's a big example that you guys brought up. Like this is like, even if like, you know, there's a certain level of quality that we try to like, you know, cope with because we just want to enjoy something. You can't like, you have to admit that a lot of the writers, the actors, or like, you know, the creatives have been like, you know, infested or have been like overrun all these spaces. And traditionally they've always been like left leaning anyways, but it's gotten to like to a point where we can't have it's rare that we get entertainment that is devoid of like, you know, trying to send like a political message or like calling people to action. And unless like it's a particularly egregious like dub or subtitling work, anime is like pretty devoid of that. So I think, you know, people are passionate about like the politics and stuff. I know people in my school that are left leaning, but they can't do that all the time. Even they go to anime when they need to like not think about the Trump shit, which is like, you know, it's pretty funny watching them crash out over it. But they also are anime fans too. So what does that say about like, you know, the culture in general? Like they do watch like the woke stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like it's crazy to see like, you know, anime is just like this generally like universally agreed upon thing that we just kind of like gravitate towards because like it's like one of the few things left that we can I'm about to finish, but it's one of the few things left that we can just like, you know, enjoy without, you know, questioning what are the ulterior motives of like the artists behind it.
Well, I mean, I can go back to a few things here where it's like, you know, people are saying even in the chat where it's like, oh, it's not historically American or it's like whatever. But it's like, you got to realize we're also living in possibly a turning point in history to where you guess what? Anime will be a part of our history. It will be a part of our stuff. And it's like, you know, I also read it was like, you know, because Americans don't do anime, they do animation. And it's like, sure, if you want to sit there and just like, you know, nitpick here or there, the main thing that they're giving us though is stories. They're giving us stories, and that's how every culture is based off of in general is stories. And if people resonate with these stories and they adopt them into wherever culture they're at, those become a part of their culture as well. So you're adopting these stories, which is entertainment, which is what I brought up to begin with. We're taking in whatever new entertainment we can get. And the new entertainment that we can get right now, the best entertainment we can get that most people seem to be pretty agreeable on is anime. And anime has to, like, it's giving us the best entertainment. That's what you're going to adopt. That's what you're aiming for. That's what we're kind of more targeting here, not just because, sure, technically what Matt said is correct. It's like right now it's not fundamental. But as the DA has been pointing out many, many times already, it is what is coming up right now. It's all the kids are talking about. It's what everything's coming out. Who do you think is going to be the next generation? By the time, like 20, 30 years from now, it's going to be a bunch of anime. It's going to be a bunch of anime heads running a politics. And
shit. It's going to be anime heads all over the world, right? Look, Tony Ilias, DA, are we going to start saying that K-pop and K-dramas are fundamental parts of American culture now too? K-pop Demon Hunters was American Western film, and K-pop is insanely huge in America too. Let me bring back this. Let me bring it back. All right, just because it was the first post that we looked at. Conservatives always complain about anime's huge influence on the youth. Stop. Influence on the youth. The youth are being influenced by anime. They will adopt that culture and make it their own. America is a melting pot. We talk about like how America picks up different things from different places and different parts and different peoples, and it melts it together. America's a melting pot. If you completely abandon Western culture and you try to woke it up, what's going to happen is the young people coming behind, all right, all the kids in their teens and 20s right now, they are adopting other parts of other people's cultures, and they're bringing that into their own. So to answer your question, Tony Ilias, if we don't change up what we're doing in the West, absolutely. Absolutely. I do believe that, again, conservatives complain about anime's huge culture influence, but we wouldn't be importing another culture from another country if Western media hadn't utterly abdicated the mandate of heaven. This is the issue, okay? We are no longer doing what we should be doing, we here, but, people elsewhere. Like, we're all talking anime right now. We're not talking about Marvel, something that started in the West. We're not talking about Star Wars, something that started in the West. We're not even talking about, something that was just out, Game of Thrones, which was by a Western author. We're talking about anime. The influence of anime is spreading. And soon it will become the dominant culture. Whether you want to say it's the quote unquote fundamental culture or whatever, that's regardless. It's going to be the dominant culture of young people. All right. People in their teens and 20s. And as you know, what you watched in your teens and 20s still sticks with you. What you grew up on, the movies, the TV shows, that sticks with you. And that carries all the way until you're an adult. And it influences everything. So the lessons that you learned, the stories that you watched, all the characters and everything, you modeled yourself after certain characters. There's kids out there that modeled themselves after Goku. We were talking about Dragon Ball Z earlier. How dominant it is in, what was it, Brazil? We were talking about that
South
earlier.
America in general.
Yeah.
So it takes over your culture and it starts to dominate. And listen, it is Japanese culture. But in Alpha Proto, I get it. I'm not disagreeing with where you're coming from, but I'm thinking you're talking about a historical perspective, and I'm looking at today, the here, the now. Anime is absolutely dominating your young audiences, kids in their teens and 20s, and it's going to continue to dominate it.
Can I ask you a question?
It's not going to change. It's not going to change until the West changes, until the West starts delivering. Everything is downstream from culture. Everything is downstream from culture. It all starts with culture. What you watch, what what becomes your entertainment, that's where you are culturally. From your music to your television shows, to your movies, video games, all of that stuff, it seems like the top-notch stuff is coming out of the East. Whether we want to accept it or not. That's how I see it. And look, I'm not wrong, because K-pop Demon Hunters, like you just said, was the #1 movie on the planet this year, and that's Korean based. It has nothing to do with, it was made by Sony and it was, English, but that's Korea. All right. It's coming out of the East, whether you want to accept it or not. That's how I see it. And that's how I'm seeing it. And that's why I'm saying Matt Walsh is out to lunch. He might be, let's get super technical on fundamental American culture. Okay, fine. Go ahead and do that, while the East continues to drink your milkshake. You got me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the East dominating American culture, and everybody is sleeping at the wheel because they want to be technically right. It's like, technically right, okay, but the East is drinking your milkshake, and you ain't responding.
If he was strictly staying to the context of historical when he said fundamental, he's got a point on that.
Sure.
But if he's talking about overall, that's where he's wrong. Because remember, and somebody brought it up in that X post, baseball was American, and guess what? Japan has taken that and basically made it part of theirs too. So
the
why
World
can't
Baseball Classic champs? Yep, they won the World Baseball Classic 3 years ago. We about to go up against them again this year.
Yeah, they're from what I've heard, they're the favorites. If he was smart, and I'm not gonna say he's not, because he's Matt Walsh comes across as an intellectual. I say this: what he needs to do is do what I said earlier. To the Christina Hoff Summers, go to an anime convention, talk to those who love it, find out why they gravitate towards it, and you know what he could do with that? He could find people over at the Daily Wire who are good at animation, have them study it, and then guess what? He can do what he wants with it. But if he's talking down on people just because they love anime, that's where he's shooting himself in the foot.
He's hurting. He's hurt. This is the point that Isaac Young is bringing up. All right. He's bringing that point up because conservatives complain about the influence and they complain and they down talk the influence. Matt Walsh is the kingpin of that.
And here's
again, all of this is coming off of him saying anime is not a fundamental part of American culture, and I really shouldn't have to explain why. And then you can sit there and say that if you want to, but the kids that's watching anime would probably disagree with you and say, nah, this is my culture, bro. This is my culture. And if you just want to say this is historically Japan, but again, like Brandon just explained, Japan got it from us.
Yeah.
Right? Japan got an anime from us.
They got everything from us.
The large expressive eyes. Where did that come from? It came from Walt Disney.
Yeah, they had to totally rebuild after we conquered them. That's the simple sum total is we conquered them. They may have been able to set up their own constitution and rebuild from there, but they did it under our auspices. Everything about them is, in a lot of ways, and they still have their Japanese culture, and they run with it, and they love them. They love where they came from, and I don't blame them. That whole history of the imperial expansion was rough, but at its core, it is American. Yep. We are their godfathers of it, basically.
Thank you, Tony Ilias. Thank you, Tony Ilias, for saying that.
This is my
Alpha Proto, Tony Ilias. Thank you guys. Like, look, this is always, you know how the show goes. This is a conversation with everybody. It's us on the panel, but y'all in the chat, and we conversate and we talk. So thank you guys for your participation in that. I just, like I said, just to wrap things up, I just think Matt Walsh, as much as he, like I said, this is a blind spot for him, and I don't understand why. Like, Matt, lock in, bro. Anime is like dominating. I saw T talking about drinking milkshake. Like, what do you mean drinking your milkshake? Go watch There Will Be Blood, T. Go watch There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day-Lewis gives an epic rant at the end of that movie that is absolutely amazing. But yeah, they are drinking our milkshake all day, every day. They're taking our kids and they're turning them into anime fans with Japan. That's basically how it's going down, to the point now where it's like everybody now, they stopped going to Europe. Everybody wants to go to Japan for a vacation. They don't even want to go to Europe anymore. They used to want to go to Europe. Like, oh, I want to travel to England and Germany and France. They're like, nah, I'm going to Japan. Why? Because that's what they grew up on. They grew up on anime. You see, my son couldn't wait to get to Japan. I was like, oh, you ain't interested in going? No, Dad, let's go to Japan. And it was like a pilgrimage. All right. He was out there in front of Shinjuku Station taking pictures like, hey, I'm right here, guys, because that's what it is now. You see, their home, like the place that they've been watching anime for so long that they just want to see Japan. They just want to be there in the flesh. He was like mesmerized, like the kids going to school, like, you know, kids going into, like, they're getting on the bus and going to school. My son was just like, man, look at that, Dad. It's like, what? It's just some kids going to school. Yeah, but it's just like the anime, man. We saw this stuff on the anime. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, he is so mesmerized. He loves Japan. You know, he absolutely does. But that's the thing. We have lost a whole generation to anime. And I'm not saying there's necessarily a bad thing to it, but for Matt to sit up here and say that it's not Western culture or American culture, or it's not fundamentally American culture, I think every kid in America would disagree with you. You know, you can be technically right by the letter of the law, all right, by the semantics. You're semantically correct, but you're culturally incorrect because kids are their kids are eating it up, man. They absolutely are. Anyway, Name keep trying to come back in here. Name, man, what's up, bro? Stop watching. Stop using a potato to watch us, bro. What are you doing?
Use your cell phone.
He's on his cell phone. All right, hang in there, Name. We got a couple of soups. Let me get through these. We got Draconis. Shout out to Draconis dropping one. Derek, the DA membership. Thank you very much, Draconis, for hanging out with us in the chat, dropping a membership for the folks. Not just one, but two. All right, so we got 2 gifted memberships from Draconis. I also came through with 5 gifted memberships, because I want to give something to the anime community. I don't know if it's anime fans that got them or not, but I'm gonna start doing more gifted memberships through anime nights. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Draconis, for the gifteds, and anybody that got a gifted membership. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you. Enjoy the memberships. Don't forget, you can watch nightcaps on the replay, and you can also watch member videos, special member videos that we have. I'm actually working on an exclusive member video right now, dealing with this whole Netflix situation. So hang out for that. We got Zodlander for 50 Swedish krona. In my opinion, the source of entertainment can set a culture. Fundamental part of American culture. Anime is entertaining, while Western entertainment is not. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, your entertainment kind of guides your culture. You know, it guides your culture. Like your music. Think about any country you go to. The music is a fundamental part of the culture. The dance, you know, like how you dance and how you listen to the music, the type of music, it's all a fundamental part of the culture. You can't separate one from the other. You hear Mexican music, you think, okay, that's from Mexico. You know, and it has a certain style, it has a certain rhythm, and that's what it is. Same thing with rhythm and blues, same thing with rap, whatever it is. It's a part of the culture. And the same thing goes when it comes to anime, or when it comes to Hollywood, movies, television. All of this stuff shapes culture. And so I just think Matt Walsh needs to like kind of wake up and smell the coffee. You know, he's getting it all wrong. All right. He's getting it all wrong. And he continues to do that. And it seems like every year we have this conversation when it comes to Matt Walsh, just getting it wrong. You know, that's just my opinion.
He always drops he always drops one dumb tweet or another once every year, something about anime. And like I was mentioning earlier, for a guy who's so good at documentaries or whatever, like this would probably be a good topic to deep dive into, and maybe it would actually wake him up to, hey, why is this rising? Why is there an anime convention every freaking 3 weeks out here, like in America? Why is that happening? Well, these weren't a thing 10 years ago. You know, it's like, why are they happening every like 3 weeks? You can go find an anime convention. Like, there's a reason for it. It's kind of blowing up here. Like, I don't know. Maybe it could be a sign of the culture. What a concept.
Look, Cyfax, did you say every 3 weeks?
I'm telling you, it's probably even more. It's probably more than that.
Look, check this out.
I was just saying that at a hyperbole, but yeah.
This is a list of the 2026 worldwide anime conventions. All right. You got conventions pretty much every damn weekend. Okay. All around the clock. TikTok, you don't stop. Like, there's literally there's an anime convention somewhere in America. Most of this is in America, as you can see. But look at all of these conventions all around.
I undersold it. My bad.
But see, this is my point. Like, you got one in London here, then you got like same weekend, Pensacola's got one, same weekend, Canada's got one, Louisiana, Canada, West Virginia, Florida. I think this thing you can check by like states. You could see like, like, so anywhere in the United States of America, 2026. Look, I mean, just in the United States, it's the same exact thing. There's anime conventions. It's ridiculous.
You had to scroll 3 times just to get to February, by the way.
Yeah, not surprising.
That's how many is going on in the US at all times. Basically, I mean, you could just travel around to each one of these and you'd make a career out of it as like cosplayers and shit.
You're actually not wrong. Bro. Like Cyfax, this is actually something I'm going to be doing here soon. I'm actually about to get myself a 3D printer. You could literally make a freaking killing on Artist Alley at some of these conventions. I'm not kidding. You like think about it like this. You could like if you're someone who's into Pokemon, for example, you could make 30 different versions of the Pokeball as long as it's not one of the as long as it's not one of the officially licensed Pokeballs. Nintendo can't touch you.
You can literally make a
You
life
see?
for yourself
Not
living as dressing as one of your favorite characters. You could just make a
Or
living
you
doing
could just
that.
be you could just be a vendor. You could just go around and just be a vendor and just go from convention to convention because there's literally that many. All right, there's literally that many. You could be every weekend. You just going to a convention, selling your anime figurines or T-shirts or hats or whatever. It's ridiculous, man. Look, I guess some of them get postponed every once in a while, but I mean, this is ridiculous. We're just scrolling through. This is just in the United States. It's not even talking about all over the world. All right. And by the way, we will be at Anime Expo for those. Is it on here? I'm pretty sure it is. We will be at Anime
in
Expo.
June or July, right? It's
July. Yep, there it is. Anime Expo. We will be there. So guys, come hang out with us. We'll be checking that out. And then me and my son are going to Anime Matsuri. I don't know if that's on here. Anime Matsuri.
There's Retro Matsuri, but
that's in Houston,
New Hampshire.
Nah, that's not it.
Anime Matsuri.
They usually have Anime Matsuri. Maybe it might not be on the list, but we'll be there. It's in Houston, Texas. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Look, again, this is just my point. It's that anime is huge, and Matt Walsh, get a clue, bro. You have no clue as to what it is that you're talking about. Okay, it is an absolute dominant form of entertainment, and it's going to continue to be so until the West gets its act together. And maybe when the West gets its act together, then it can compete with anime. Right now, it's not even competitive.
I mean, there's only 50 states, and you scrolled through at least probably 150 fucking animes, and you barely hit May. Like,
right? It's wild, man. But yeah, so there's that. All right. I think we hit the super chats. Thank you very much, Draconis. Thank you, Zodlander. Let me give you guys some love for that. And then it's on to the next topic. We still got more to go. Thank you. Here you go. All right, and then I gotta also thank Draconis, who also dropped some super chat love. Thank you, or actually gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Draconis, for that. And here you go. Well, there it is. All right, let's move on. I don't know if you guys saw this in the world of piracy and anime piracy. It looks like people are starting to slow down on that a little bit. Breaking news. This is from Chibi Reviews. MangaDex reveals they are going corporate after removing and censoring content for a few weeks ago. Well, I doubt they'll survive long after pushing away their core audience. So let's read this. This is from Anime Updates. MangaDex, a manga piracy website, MangaDex, has already gone corporate. MangaDex, the household name for one of the world's largest manga piracy websites that is still running, if not the largest, after the shutting down of Bato.to, went corporate, but said it promises not to become another Crunchyroll. I thought that was just hilarious, man. Everybody hates Crunchyroll, man. Everybody hates Crunchyroll. According to their DMCA takedown FAQ last year, most of this information is not entirely new, but it is meant to compile what we have known and contextualize recent events regarding censorship and other new information. So here's the background. It kind of gives that to you. Namikami, the current owner of MangaDex, is likely the decision maker for recent changes in MangaDex regarding censorship. While it's not 100% certain whether or not MangaDex UK is the same legal entity as the website MangaDex, this is the company registered to limit liability on the owners. By definition, the corporation was privately privately owned shares, and the framework of MangaDex UK Limited directly affects the website from a legal standpoint. While MangaDex UK Limited is already a legal corporation, it has some work to do before it can become a fully legitimate legal business. So it basically, they're saying, look, man, we see the writing on the wall. All right. Japan is cracking down on piracy. So we're going to try to go legit. We're going to try to be honest. We're going to try to be good guys, but we're not going to become Crunchyroll. All right. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. They're not going to become Crunchyroll. To me, I don't get it. It's like, look, man, I'm not a pirate. Okay. I'm just not. I'll pay for whatever it is that I want to watch. That's just how I get down. How do you guys see this shaking out? That now that MangaDex is going to become legitimate, and they're going to try to, make sure that they, I don't know, stay within the, color within the lines, and they're not going to be pirates. I don't know if you guys are even familiar with MangaDex, but what are y'all's thoughts on that?
I really have no thoughts about this. I've never used MangaDex, so okay. I'm gonna bow out on this one.
Okay, all right. Name, Brandon, Cyphex, Angel.
I mean, for me, I'm not a big advocate in regards to bootlegging things. I look at this like iPhones and Androids. Like anytime I look at anybody with an Android, I'm like, you just want to bootleg stuff. You're just out there trying to pretty much bootleg music or bootleg videos or whatever it is to not pay for it. And you're always going to get less quality when you're not paying for things. So to me, I mean, it's kind of a smart business move, especially since that they're cracking down on their end. They're making it more and more harder for anybody to be able to get the content for free because they know the value of their content. So why not get in the business of trying to make some money off of that instead of trying to go against it?
Fair point. I think Name is still out to lunch. He can't talk.
I'm letting you guys go first because I got a different opinion from y'all.
Of course you do. Go ahead, Name.
I mean, does Cyphex or Brandon want to go before me? Because
No, man. Spit. Go ahead. Spit.
All right. Well, I hear what you guys are saying, but you also have to think of the consequences of this because they were a pirate site before, which means no one had a leash on them, which means they could just put whatever content they had on their site. Now that they're legal, they're going to have to go through licensing. So they're not going to have the full access to the library that they used to. And this means that, and I've heard this story before, that some manga, which are not there's no English or international version, yet alone some of it just maybe lost to history at this point because there's no one to keep track of it. And I'm sure there are other sites out there. It's it's like a hydra. You cut off one hit, two more take their place. But this was one of the big ones, and I don't know. It's understandable that people want to protect and safeguard their IPs and their work and not just hand it out for free. But it also it sucks because there was a story that was going around and we're gonna cover it later, but it was one of the rare instances where piracy was actually resulting in traction and sales for the creator that may have not otherwise been as easily reachable if he just went through if he just dropped his manga on an app and just got it what's it called buried by all the popular titles. So
okay. Brandon?
Well, the two biggest things is, preservation, that's going to be harder, and censorship, because that's always the next thing, especially with what the prison islands and the Europeans have been pushing in their laws lately. So, yeah.
I was gonna bring that up, but I was like, that's like a 25-minute segment if I brought that up, so I'm gonna leave that alone. what's going on right now in the UK with Europe and censorship. I'm like, yeah, let me just leave that alone. I listen, I don't use, like I said, I'm a good boy. All right. I don't pirate. That's just me. Not to, and I don't take anything away from those that do. You know, I got family members that's like, oh man, I pirate everything. I'm never gonna pay Crunchyroll. And that's perfectly like, hey, you know, that's just me. You know, I would just rather pay, because for me, I just would rather make sure that whatever methodology that the creators are getting their money, I just want to support the creators. And I know if I, you know, get something legitimately, I know that's going to creators. If I know if it's piracy, and I know Name has his opinions on that, it's like, yeah, but you know, I'll buy like, you know, figurines and I'll, you know, get the box set and all of that. And that's cool. But I would just rather pay for the service. You know, that's just me. You know, and that way I know I'm getting it clean and I'm not, you know, hurting somebody else's pockets. You know, that's just, I believe in that. I truly do. But now it looks like MangaDex, they're smelling the writing on the wall. They're seeing the writing on the wall, I should say. And they know, man, it's going to be harder and harder to pirate things coming out of Japan when it comes to manga and anime. That's their number one export. They see that, they understand that, they know that, and they're going to protect it. You know, so if you want to, you know, continue to participate in this, you might have to become, you know, a legitimate purchaser of their product, you know. And we want, I don't know, man. Like, to me, I feel like I want to support the mangakas and the anime directors and the anime studios because they're giving me entertainment that I enjoy, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I always believe in support. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, as far as being a pirate, the only pirate I want to be is a straw hat pirate. So, yeah.
I've always, man, do what you do. I ain't judging. That's just my personal philosophy on the matter. You know,
I've always looked at like piracy and stuff the same way I did back when like when we all pirated music and stuff with LimeWire and shit like that. Which is, if I like your album enough, or if I like the thing enough, I'll buy it. Like, I will absolutely support you. And so it's like, hey, the easiest way for me to check it out, listen to it, was to, well, download it illegally, I guess. And it's the same thing that goes with movies, TV shows, whatever. That, like, if that's the way that I got to do it to see if I like it, you know, it's try before you buy type of thing. But it's like, I would say 99% of the time, and maybe I'll go 95% just to be generous. If I like your product enough, I will support you. I will give you the money for it because I want a copy of it, because I want to have the physical thing of it. You know, and it's the same thing with anime. It's like, if I like your show enough, I'll go and buy your books even, you know, I'll go check those out. Why not? So, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I've always been one of those people, and I think a lot of us did. We all did that back in the LimeWire days for sure. But like,
I agree. All right, ready to move on. I know. Speaking of, I guess piracy. This is kind of a pirate-looking knife here. Korean sword master crafted Jinu's dagger by hand for the Solo Leveling live action. Would y'all look at this shit? This is absolutely, like, this is beautiful work, man. Let me zoom in on that so y'all can
ridiculous. That looks so sick. When I seen that, I was like, yo, I gotta show y'all. I had to show y'all this.
Angel, my brother.
Yeah, have you seen videos on metalworking? Like, to get that intricacy is crazy.
Oh my God, dude, those are
clean.
Beautiful. Here's the thing. I'm a katana guy. I love collecting katanas, but I want those. Okay. I love the katana swords, but I want those just to have them.
Yeah, I mean, I look, these are going to go. Look, we were talking about anime expos and anime conventions. I guarantee you these are going to be items that you will be able to purchase. And they're probably going to be expensive as hell. Like, you know, like I got my katana behind me, you know, that I bought at Anime Matsuri. I'm pretty sure these are going to be available at some anime convention somewhere. These are gorgeous, man. These are beautiful. These are the ones that they're going to use in the series. But I guarantee you that these are going to become available. If not already, they probably have some like replica types available. But I mean, these things look
telling you,
great.
if you're out there breaking into
Carved
people's
them by
houses,
hand.
if you're out there breaking into people's houses and somebody pulls this motherfucker on you, run. Just fucking run. Just get out of there. Just get out of that house immediately, because this person is gonna murk the shit out of you.
Yeah, he gonna.
I mean, he's gonna look ridiculous the way he's doing it, but like he wants to use it. Like he absolutely wants to use it.
Oh, dude, this is so badass, man. Like, look, I loved. I always kind of cracked up on in Solo Leveling. It's like he's just using this little ass sword. Like, why don't you get a big sword, bro? But he just had this little blade. But I mean, he did damage with it. How do you guys think this live action Solo Leveling is going to do?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, no, the first episode is gonna get watched. It's gonna be like almost like the Harry Potter stuff, where it's like, of course everybody's gonna watch it, but then if it's done like most live action, it's gonna not do very well. Like obviously we have some good examples lately, because we got stuff like One Piece was done really well. Like Rurouni Kenshin was actually done pretty well. The Bleach ones are very, very half-assed. There's some stuff out there. I mean, they're not terrible, but like they're watchable. They're way better than like Death Note or something, right? But so it's as long as it's above that quality. But it's like I can't imagine them meeting the anime standards, because we've said this even before when it comes to just regular movies. When it comes to like Pixar movies, like How to Train Your Dragon, stuff like that, like you can't get the expressiveness that like I don't know. There's something about animation that just really brings out. Like they get so many details. You can zoom in on their eyes while they like really focus in, or something lights up. They have so many more like tricks and fun things to do with animation that I don't think they can ever pull off live action. It just doesn't come across genuine. It just never looks right.
DA, just want to say this real quick. Jinwoo uses daggers because his father uses daggers. He mainly fights with daggers and knives as a tribute to him.
Okay, cool. I probably missed that.
He not even know his dad? Like
no,
he doesn't even know him. Yeah.
No, he does. It's the story goes before the first episode.
Yeah, he knew his father. Yeah.
He was basically a firefighter, but then when the gates started opening and showing up, he actually went into a gate and got lost in there for 10 years. It's actually said, well, I don't want to.
It's the guy in the show. It's the guy in the show, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy who's wearing that like orange jumpsuit.
He's like, he looks like a prisoner. Yeah,
that's him.
I lost the next topic. Hopefully, I can find it.
Oh no!
I accidentally closed it out, and I'm like, damn it! All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Dang it! I did not mean to do that. Sorry, everybody. You know, technical difficulties. Wait, hold on. Where did it go? Oh man, this is we were talking earlier about Madam Savvy. All right.
She's pretty funny, man.
Madam Savvy is awesome. She absolutely went the fuck off on localizers, because we're kind of tired of we're all kind of tired of localizers, right? I think everybody can agree with that. Where is she?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We're all kind of sick and tired of localizers. And Madam Savvy has something to say. If I can find this freaking thing, look, it was in our group chat, and now I'm trying to find it.
Brandon needs to bounce, man.
Yeah,
Brandon, you got to go.
Yeah, I'm starting to die over here, and I got to get up in about.
We don't want you to die.
7 hours, so.
Oh yeah, man, go get some rest, man. Yeah, you need a full 8. So if you only getting 7, that's bad. Brandon, you got it. You got anything coming up tomorrow morning?
Yep. The show at 7 a.m. for you West Coasters, 8 o'clock for me, 9 a.m. for you Central Timers, and 10 o'clock for the East Coast, Anime 101. And my guest will be Pacific 414. We're going to talk some anime, give some recommendations, and who knows what type of mischief and mayhem we'll get into. But it'll be a fun time as always. So thank you so very much, DA. I appreciate it, gentlemen. It was good to see you again. And yeah, you all have yourself a great night.
You have a good night,
man. Brandon, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for coming through, and we'll see you on the next one, man. Look,
you
we'll be
much.
checking in
check.
on Anime 101 tomorrow morning, Saturday. So everybody go check out Brandon's channel. All right. I'll drop a link in the chat in case anybody doesn't have that already. But yeah, definitely check out Brandon, the anime guy. Peace out.
Peace out. Take care.
Good night,
Or
Brandon.
it looks like T wants to get invited, but he doesn't know shit
Oh,
about
God,
anime.
no.
He don't know
No,
nothing about
no.
anime. No, we're not bringing him in. No. Let's talk about Madam Savvy. Okay. Madam Savvy absolutely had an epic rant. I mean, she absolutely went off. And I absolutely loved every minute of this. I hate American localization and voice acting so much. Why do you freaks do this? Why do you insist on butchering the author's intent? A simple "ehe" can't even be done. Can you not act? Can you not pretend for 30 fucking seconds you aren't the center of a goddamn universe and that you are merely a cog in a wheel, not a creative inspiration to the rest of the world? The author wanted "ehe." Why is this hard to respect? Are you so selfish, so pathetic, so afraid of other cultures and sounds and customs and speech patterns? All right, so look, we got to go through this. Oh, actor, it isn't your fucking job title. Act, pretend. Job or holy fuck, it isn't hard to do a fucking he. So we got to play this because this is he in 4 languages. All right, so we got 4 languages. We got Chinese, Korean, English, and Japanese. Let's go ahead and listen to all of these. Let me back it up here. Hold up a second. Let's go ahead and listen to the 4 languages and how everybody chooses to do "ehe."
Whoopsies.
What?
Whoopsies.
It's like, wait a minute. Why can't you just say "ehe"? Why can't you just say that? Why? Why? Because they're localizers and they got to do their thing. They got to put their own spin. They can't just do what everybody else is doing because it's all about me. It's all about us. It's not about the work. It's not about the work at all. It's all about them.
Even
And
even
it's
if you were to
frustrating as hell. Go ahead, man.
even if you were to consider it localizing, right? So like, hey, make it American or whatever. None of those actions, winking and pointing, no one would ever go whoopsies while winking and pointing like that. None of that even fucking makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all. You ever seen anyone do that ever? Like that you're not even making it work. Like what? Oh God, this is
It's so bad, man. It's so bad.
But what's funny is it's such a little thing. It's such a minor whatever, and it's just a one-line thing. But at the same time, it shows that look, if they're willing to do this, what else are they doing in the rest of the show? Like that's kind of what this is really pointing out. Where it's like, look, this is like they'll point out that they'll change such minor things like that. But more likely, they're also changing bigger things in the plot lines and whatever. Like we've seen it plenty of times where they'll just change straight up dialogue just because, well, shit, no one knows what they're technically saying anyways, unless they're reading it. And if we just say it in English, we'll just we'll make up our own dialogue, and it doesn't even fit what's going on around them. They do it all the time, and it really is. She's completely correct. Like these people need to be held accountable for. I don't know. They're messing up original works. Like, why are you so important? You're not.
You are not wrong, because here's the thing. You literally just hit it on the head. What's her name? Monica Rial literally got busted for that in the anime Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. She changed what was said because there was a moment in the anime where the Dragon Maid is talking to somebody about something relevant to the plot, but in the dub, Monica Rial changed it to basically say, "Oh, I'm gonna some feminist girl boss shit." That pissed off a lot of fans of the series to the point to where they almost boycotted watching it.
See?
Oh, sorry. Let me correct myself. Alpha Proto was right. That was Jamie Markey.
Jamie Margaret.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? More likely, the other person you mentioned probably did the same thing in a different anime. But yeah. No, these people do this shit all the time, and where they change it to fit what they think should go there. But it's almost like, even though they literally have the script in front of them and they don't know what the plot is, and I feel a lot of this comes down to, well, I mean, not always, but I say this all the time. People know how to read, but they don't know how to comprehend what the hell they're reading. So they can't put together their story. They can't put together what the hell they're reading. They don't know the context of anything. They just say the words and they just read it out. And they're like, well, I want them to say this instead. It doesn't matter what the rest of the story actually means, or this line could possibly be super important to the rest of the context of the story. No, they don't do that because they don't comprehend these things. And it shows a lot. And voice actors, just another one of these things that is just getting, they get dragged across the coals for it, and for good reason. Because
I can't stand that, Tony. By the way, when I hear like modern day slang and English slang, it's just like,
the worst is stuff like Star Trek when they do that.
About this, like, you like, we're talking about localizing the dubs, but you guys have to remember also that localizers do the subtitle translations too. So, and I was watching a sub anime, and I was watching the Uma Musume movie, which I'll get into deeper later. But,
we'll get to that.
I've heard that Cygames, the person who does localization, or like, I don't know if it's one person or like several people or specific people at Cygames, they are pretty woke. And I wasn't seeing that much of that in the movie itself, but I did see a lot of that like Gen Z slang. Like, there was one moment in the movie where the subtitle said crashing out, and I was like, that's not what it said in the Japanese, but like everyone in the audience, like, they laughed because like they didn't like understand like what she was really saying. They had to like trust the subtitles. So like we're getting to a point where you can't even trust, like, you can't trust what you hear, you can't trust what you see. So it's like, what's left except like to learn the actual language. And
that's why I'm learning Japanese, man, or at least I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yep.
Real talk. Yep. Yeah, I think AI will replace them all. Absolutely. At some point in time, it's just going to be like, you know what? Let AI translate it, and let's go from there.
It's either going to be AI, or somebody's going to get to the point to where they're literally going to basically rip those scenes out, and they're going to dub them themselves. And then guess what? Sooner or later, the creators will find those scenes and then basically go, hey, no, he needs to be hired. That person needs to be hired. The person behind this scene needs to be hired. Yep. Because nowadays it's either going to be AI or someone else is going to basically say, nope, let me actually find what was actually said, and then go from there.
Dude, AI is absolutely going to take over so many of these people because, dude, I was just watching, it was the side scrollers. I don't know if you guys follow them, Craig and all them. Mm-hmm. But he was doing it. He did a segment on he was talking about Dan Vask. Dan Vask, like, he's mainly known as a YouTuber. Like, so he doesn't have like actual music. Like, he has music on YouTube and stuff, but he doesn't have a band and all this other stuff. And he was able to just type in, do a song with Dan Vask's voice, and it sounded like 100% him. So it's like these people who technically have a name behind them, behind many projects and all this stuff, AI is going to have a catalog to draw from, and they can just immediately imitate it. Like, I mean, we've seen that as far as music and stuff like that goes, that's probably one of the easier ones, but it's only getting better and better. By the time some of this stuff comes to the US and they need to do this, why hire somebody that's just going to change anything? You could literally just type in what they said, type it into AI, be like, turn this to Japanese, and ta-da, now you got it in Japanese with the actual actor's voice. Maybe you got to give them credit or probably give them some type of royalties, but it's like, it's better than paying Joe Smo to screw your series up.
I agree.
And it's like, I kind of don't blame people for wanting to do that, because screw these people, man. They're trying to change your original work because they didn't like the words that were said.
Yeah, Cyphex, you bring up an interesting point because we didn't include this in like the roundup for tonight, but there's like a really prominent voice actor named Yuki Kaji. I sent like the news report, but he recently left his agency because he's focusing on like his AI project, which is like to secure like better AI voice protection rights for the Japanese like voice acting industry. I don't know if this applies internationally, but I'm assuming it's just Japanese because like that's where he works. But one of the things that like I think one of the things outlined in this protection or like his like proposed like AI plan is that he's gonna like license out to like his voice to be able to like translate or like dub it over in other languages. So like you can get like an English version, you can get like English words said in like Yuki Kaji's tone. So like you don't have to like hire another actor. Like I'll give you an example. Like Eren Yeager, like one of his famous roles is Eren Yeager. Like you would be able to hear like in English like Eren Yeager in his voice instead of like having to like find another like dub actor. So like that's like something that's like stewing in the background, and I think like that's something we got to keep our eye on. But like it's like you guys are saying, like as this like technology gets better, as like actors start to like make compromises, it's like
Yep,
this may be the future.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, Name. Are you ready, sir?
All right,
You're up
sure.
next. All right, so this was a tough one. A Name had sent this to me. He said he wanted to discuss it, so let's talk about this particular situation. Chibi Reviews posted this up. This is heartbreaking. So a mangaka scanlated his own work and published it on the internet for free so that it will reach people who can't read Japanese. But he was forced to take it down because of the company he works with. It's even revealed they control his account too. So this man has zero control over his own work. It's this guy right here, Shiten Akiyama. He says, I was forced to delete the content regarding that matter. I sincerely apologize to everyone who supported me. I draw manga for a Japanese publisher. My work belongs to me, yet I cannot freely handle my own creations, and sometimes not even this account. The number of overseas manga fans may not grow any further. Still, I'm glad I got to meet all of you. I always pour my all into the manga right in front of me. Other issues are insignificant to me. Hold on. Well then, I'm off to draw a masterpiece. All right. So this is him, Shiten Akiyama. All right. And Name wanted to talk about this situation, man. This is kind of a messed up situation when you sit back and think about it. Name, go ahead and clue us in. What's happening?
So I thought this was an interesting topic because literally last week we talked about like mangakas or like editors like feeling like they're becoming like irrelevant or obsolete in the age of like social media, where mangakas can just straight up reach out to their audience and get their feedback. And like immediately after the stream, like I started getting recommended this. So it's either like Elon's watching the stream or someone got access to my data. So like what happened was this guy like he put up like he made like a little tweet like, hey everyone, like the first chapter of like my manga's available. I used like an AI tool to like translate it. So like that was something that we also like talked about. Like so he use like AI assisted translations, and he was like, I apologize if the translation is like off, and he takes full accountability for that. But he published it, and like when you put a free copy on the internet, it's free game for everyone. And sooner or later, like it went up on like and it's crazy, it went up on MangaDex. So that's the irony of it all. It went up on MangaDex.
There you go.
A few days later, they announced that they're going like corporate. Like it was funny. Like I think the minute like he had to take it down, MangaDex also announced, oh yeah, we're corporate now. So but it was like we talked about like people pirate and then like they sometimes like give it back in other ways, or like like Cyphex was talking about earlier, like piracy is like a way for him to like gauge interest or like see how much he likes the work. Like this guy was like actually getting like a lot of traction. Like I think some like people on MangaDex, like they put this like and like the featured page to like to boost his work, because like this guy was like actually like communicating with like people who pirate, even though like he shouldn't. But people were like
so
actually
his
like,
work was getting out there.
Yeah, and people were actually buying the Japanese version of his manga because like one of the things he said like is like, guys, I know like I gave you this free chapter 1, but if you guys actually want an English like release, you got to show like the publishers that there's a market for this. So like please like support the Japanese release. And you had people like it was like a few, but they like were buying the Amazon, like they're going to Amazon Japan and like ordering like a copy of like his Japanese like the Japanese version of like his manga. And he was like, I thought like like we were talking about last week, like this guy, he literally took it into his own hands to like advertise his manga. Like he has like he's someone's publishing it for sure, but like you think about like how many manga like and like light novels come out in like the span of a year, and like
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of stuff gets like buried or like they gets like dwarfed by like really really big titles.
Yeah.
And we don't like it was a very like interesting experiment to see like this guy like get some reach. And he was super active. Like there's so many posts, and that's why like I felt bad about asking like not preparing something for DA, because like he was responding to like as many people as he could. Like he was responding in like Spanish and English. But like this guy, like he was really like passionate about this, and I was like, damn, like and I think like he did get permission from like the publishing company to publish, to like give out the first chapter for free. I think that's just like an industry standard. It's like you hook them in, like kind of like what Netflix trying to do with like One Piece in the theaters. They just like give you a little taste, and like you're gonna have to pay for the rest. But I don't think like I think what they weren't happy with about was like the pirates getting access to it and him actually engaging with the pirates, because like in a way that's kind of like encouraging piracy, which like by a official
Sure.
standpoint he can't do that. But
That makes sense too. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if he's attracting the pirates, then that would make sense as to why they would say, yeah, take that down. But if it's not that, then it doesn't make sense.
I mean, his work is pretty good, man. I mean, he got good artwork.
Oh yeah, I mean that's some nice work itself.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, to go like not towards piracy or whatever, but it's like a lot of us grew up in a generation to where like when some of these things came out, like you didn't have access to them. Even like your local stores didn't have the new CD, they didn't have the new whatever. The only way to get it was to find it online, technically illegally at the time. That's why I think a lot of that stuff started kicking off. Nowadays, I mean, there's the only excuse for it is like well, dude, you don't got the money for it,
real
which
quick,
I think is
hail
acceptable.
to Hypnotic. Bigot Army Raid is in the house. What's up?
On, Bigot Army.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hypnotic, man. Shout out to Hypnotic, man. Always supporting. Thank you very much. We just chopping it up. We talk anime. This is Anime Nights, Friday night stream. We do a lot of we just discuss anime. Honestly, we discuss anime, we discuss manga. Right now, Name is dropping some information about a mangaka who tried to put his work out there, and he got shut down, and he got like really kind of got banned. So we were discussing that. So yeah, unfortunate situation for him, but we'd love to see like guys that are actually struggling artists actually putting their work out there. This guy has a manga that's actually really 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 good. It's getting a lot of notice, it's getting a lot of burn. So yeah, I feel bad for this guy, man, that he got like kind of clapped right when he was trying to get himself known. Thank you very much, Hypnotic. I just got the new Legacy of Ghost in the Shell box set. It's awesome, man. Ghost in the Shell, one of the GOAT classic animes of all time, man. One of the GOATs. All right, absolutely. Thanks, bro, for being here. Appreciate you. Much love to you. I'm gonna let Name go ahead and finish up. Name, I know you said you wasn't going to go long on this segment, so I'm gonna let you finish up.
Yeah,
bro.
we gotta
Finish up.
pause, but yeah, it's like it's it's really interesting because like this guy like the things like it's a really competitive industry, like especially like on the anime and the manga side, just like breaking out there is like it's really big, and like this guy like he was really like hungry. I can feel that with his work, like, and like the methods he took, because like correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like one of the few or like first, this is the first instance I've seen, but it's also like one of the few I've seen where like you have an author like directly engaging with like the pirates. Like I feel like I've heard stories of like other authors doing it, but it's kind of like what's it called? Hear no evil. Like, you know, see no evil, hear no evil. So like they just kind of know it's like a thing, but like they're not allowed to acknowledge it. But like this guy, he did it and he got a slap on the wrist. But I feel like this little stunt, even though like he might get like he brought like reprimanded for it, it did like I think it had the intended impact because like he was getting a lot of traction and it kind of low key like it kind of made me want to support it too because like I think it's a bold move, man. Like and it kind of like ties into like what we were talking about last week. Creators like taking control of their work.
Sorry about that. I was just responding to a post. Yeah. Look, I'm hoping the best for this guy, because again, he tried to like really get out there and do the work that a lot of people don't want to do and push his own product, and it just kind of backfired in his face. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that he lands on his feet. I think, I mean, like, look at the artwork, man. It looks like he has a really, really bright future ahead of him. So, yeah, I just responded to John. Thank you very much, Angel. I just responded to John. His name is Shiten Akiyama. All right. That's the guy. So let's get out there and support him. All right. If you have the will and the desire and the bread to get out there and support him, let's get out there and support a up and coming mangaka. That was just, he was just giving his work away. He was like, hey, look, I want to get known. Let me get my work out there. And so you guys can see it. And, unfortunately the studio, kind of clapped him. Which is unfortunate.
Bro, he's pretty funny too. Like one fan, like, or someone posted that they actually like they wrote, like, they tweeted at him like, what would you do for me if I bought your manga? And he said like, oh, I'll strip naked and dance for you like every day. I'm like, okay, this guy's that's a pause. But this man was like,
bro,
this man's got a sense of humor too. I respect that. Like, bro is starving, bro.
Absolutely wilding out.
The only problem with that, what Name is leaving out, is he was like, he bought 2 copies just because he said that, dude. He did.
All
right, look.
Are you sure it's 2 copies?
Well, I mean, there's one to ruin and one to read. All right.
Show right now going on, bro. What are we doing? All right, look, we got a couple of final topics that we got to hit. We got to talk about this situation. I got a question for you guys. All right, so this is from some dude. Eddie has my heart. I don't know who this cat is, but he asked a very interesting question. Unpopular opinion, but the pandemic killed fandoms. Too many people got invested too fast without knowing the unwritten rules and what fandom etiquette is. They waltz over everything we've known with their bland and opinionated morals and kill the diversity and fun. All right. Now, I just want you guys to keep in mind, this guy's got the rainbow flag. I'm just using this just as a setup. All right. It's apparently an 80s girl. There you go. So, but here's my question. Here's the question that I got. What's the most toxic fandom that's out there right now? If there is such a thing. All right. There's a lot of fandoms out there right now that are absolutely brutal, right? We were talking about this. I don't know if we were talking about this. The Gachi Akuda fandom, bruh, that is starting to get really, really bad. I think we talked about that last week. The Gachi Akuda fandom is absolutely insane right now. It is getting bad, man.
You know what's fun? It's ironic that it's both My Hero and Gachi Akuda are animated by Studio Bones, and the My Hero fandom is pretty toxic. And I think like once that OVA drops, there's going to be a lot of like crashing out in copium for like the anime only people.
Yeah, there's some bad fandoms out there, Hero. Man. Oh, gosh.
The Shield Hero fandom was toxic in the first season, and that's when they basically brought in Queen Morelia. Oh my God. Like, you literally had people at first wanting to lewd Raftalia. They wanted to lewd Philo. And many people were like, no, you don't lewd the bird. But the minute that Morelia Q Melremark came on the scene, people was like, oh, challenge
I don't know.
accepted.
I don't know, man. There's somebody around here somewhere that and it just keeps getting bombarded on all of us, which is like the vigilantes fandom. Like Jesus Christ,
Oh,
who even supports that shit? No,
I'm not gonna lie. Actually, it's funny that you bring that up, Cyfax. Like, thank you for that because like there's some infighting between like the vigilantes like fans and the mainline My Hero fans. Like, I thought that was interesting, bro. They're like eating their own, and then like I check all their profiles and like, yeah, it kind of checks out. Like, a lot of them are like leftists and all that, so like it kind of transfers over. But I think another one that's been like brewing is the JJK fandom. Now, like I know it's like it's probably like inflated drama from like the algorithms, but like some stuff has been like happening like lately.
Yeah. The JJK drama is hella inflated. It's not real. Okay, yeah. JJK's there's really no drama there. I think Gachi Akuda is starting to step in as one of the more like insane fan bases, and there's all kinds of like there's a lot of racism. Some of the shit is hilarious, honestly, but there's a lot of racism going on there. There's a lot of like negativity. Gachi Akuda is absolutely getting there. They're on the level of My Hero. My Hero, obviously, everybody probably knows. Like Cyfax said, My Hero is one of the more like y'all are tripping, man. Y'all are tripping hard.
Yeah, it's like have you seen those memes before, DA, where like you're trying to like say that you're a My Hero fan, but like you're not part of the fandom. It's like, bro, I just like the anime.
So with this question, are we talking only strictly anime fans, or
this is anime nights, bro. We're talking anime.
I was about to drop Star Wars. I was gonna.
Can I drop one more like tidbit about like how bad the My Hero fandom is? So like at one convention, someone walked up to like the English dub of like Midoriya, Justin Briner, and they asked him like what are his thoughts on like the Deku and Eri ship. And like after that, he had to make a post like telling people like, "Ayo, like please don't come up to me and ask me about ships anymore," because like I think like even like that was like a step too far from him. Like,
can I actually respond to the tweet that we're actually looking at?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Cyfax. Go ahead.
Okay, so it says like unpopular opinion: the pandemic killed fandoms. I would say that's relatively true. What I think what happened is because everybody were stuck at home. It kind of started to create new people that were joining, but they didn't know. And I think this is what he's referencing here. They didn't know how the fandoms would react. So now there's new people who are interested in stuff that they weren't used to before because, I got like 2 months to kill or however many months or however long you were quarantined or whatever your job made you do. And so they got invested or whatever. But the thing that threw me off, because I was like, you know what? This tweet had me in the first half. I was like, I agree on a lot of this. But then they're like, they waltz over everything we've known with their bland, opinionated morals and kill the diversity and fun.
That's why I prefaced that. Look, Cyfax, that's why I said, yep, he got the rainbow flag. I was using this as kind of a setup just to talk because that's why I wanted to go.
But
this is the Go ahead.
It's because that's why I wanted to go back to it. It's because like he's referencing something, but the problem is more than likely the people that he's referencing is more than likely his own people. The people who they're tourists. Like I keep seeing that in chat, and that's a perfect word. They're tourists.
Yes,
they're just like I just showed up for a minute, and it's like I do kind of like this thing. But I wish it would have more XYZ.
It's the pandemic, right? Let me go back to it because he was saying it was the pandemic that kind of like created all of these tourists that just kind of stepped into a fandom because it was like, okay, I'm at home, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm just gonna like talk about whatever this this anime that I'm watching, and it's like, nah, bro, you ain't never really been in this thing like that. And all of a sudden, these guys are experts.
You were bored because the government told you to be bored. Congratulations! Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like there's a lot of cats like that in the anime fandom as we speak. Right? There's a lot of dudes that just stepped in first thing. And look, that's fine if you just discovered an anime You're bored, you're at home, it's the pandemic, you ain't got nothing to do, and you just flip on an anime. Oh shoot, man, I didn't know this thing would exist. This is actually pretty cool. But you shouldn't come in and all of a sudden be the expert of the anime, like you know everything, and you jumping online and you talking crazy, right? Because that's where you start to lose people, man. That's where you absolutely start to lose people. I wanted to bring this up because I said the Gachi Akuda fandom. As I surf the internet, this shit is getting absolutely crazy, man. All right. So the Gachi Akuda fandom is on its way to becoming one of the worst ever. Every time I see something about this series trending, it's always the most retarded shit. Don't trace her art. That's all she said, and y'all got mad. These clowns deserve to get hated. All right. So basically, the artist said, hey, don't trace my work. All right. And call it legitimately like this was the work, because what people do is they trace somebody's, like artwork, and then they try to pass it off as legitimate. This person's just saying, hey, don't do that. All right. And all of a sudden, this bitch sucks so much, bro. I hate that Gachi Akuda is so good. Nothing about this moron is appealing. Just an absolute dredge of a person. Fantastic artist, though. And I'm like, can you not trace my work and try to pass it off? Because what they do is they trace the work and then they try to go out there and pass it off as this is legitimate work. And it's like, come on now.
Yeah,
but apparently the Gachi Akuda fan base, this is what they've been doing.
If you're passing it off as legitimate work, I could see like, hey, that being a problem. But it's like, I know a ton of artists who started off by doing, you trace off stuff and then you do that. And like, that's a good way to start out learning how to draw and how to become an artist and stuff, is by tracing, and then you follow it up. But yeah, if you're throwing it out there as it's an original or something you did on your own, like, sure, you might have. Yeah, at a certain point, it's almost like color by numbers type of deal. So it's like, why are you selling that? But yeah, I get it to a
this
point.
Is the artist though, bro. This is the person making this shit. Like, why are y'all?
No, I'm pretty much in agreement for the most part.
Okay, all right. This is fucking crazy,
I'm not defending the people attacking her. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just tripping out how there's really clicks. Like, seriously? I mean, I don't know. To me, the only thing that I don't know too much about the fandom in that way. I'm still relatively new, but I mean, I heard.
Have you been watching Gachi Akuda?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Okay,
but I heard like the I don't know. I've seen videos about I can't pronounce the anime name, Naruto or
Naruto.
Yeah,
Naruto.
I've been seeing a lot of videos in regards to people talking about that click, or cats rolling around. Like, I just seen funny videos and memes of people showing that type of beef in regards to that. So I always thought it was fun and like a comedy type thing. I didn't think it was like that toxic and that serious. Like, I don't know.
No, Angel, it is like, there are times where like, we anime have like, fun and jokes and all that, but like they're also like, this is like an actual series where they're actually like attacking the author, and this has been like an occurring thing ever since like the stage play adaptation, ever since and that it's like, bro, like, you have one of the few like authors who's willing to engage with you, because like this is not a standard thing. Like, a lot of mangakas, they just like, the only way like you get interaction from them is like if they put like a little like post game interview in like the volume of their manga or something. Like, this is like all very relatively new because of like technology, social media, and like people trying to like use that as a medium to like get their work through. But like doing this to like to mangakas and like the artists is just gonna make them want to like interact with you less. And
you're not wrong, Name, because Kishimoto Sensei went through that, because when he basically did the final arc of Naruto, where Naruto showed up like near the end of the war, and he basically confirmed to Hinata that he loved her. There were so many people who literally hit Kishimoto Sensei up on X or Twitter, and they was like, yeah, we do not like the ending. And the majority of the fans of Naruto was like, yeah, no, dude, this was good. We see it. We saw how he went from Sakura to Naruto. There were those people who just wanted Naruto and Sakura. He made an alternate ending, and guess what they said?
If it's not the canon ending, we don't want it. Like, what? You
Yeah, look, like I've heard this as well. Alpha Proto. I have never watched this show, but I heard about this author. They hate her because they thought he identified as non-binary, but she said she didn't, and now they hate her. So,
bro, that was another funny thing, bro. These idiots who always get up in like people's like face about misgendering, they're the ones who did it, and I saw the fallout. They could not take the responsibility for that. They're like, well, if she wasn't,
they misgendered her and they couldn't take it.
Yes, they're like, well, if she was not non-binary, she should have come out and said it. It's like, bro, but like the thing about like mangakas is like they remain anonymous because like, you know, and we don't like to talk about this, but and it's because like, you know, it doesn't like it's a really like fringe cases, but like Japan has like, you know, certain like obsession and like stalking problems from time to time. And a reason like
idol
why
culture,
these
right? Idol culture.
Yeah, idol cultures, but like also like
bad, man.
Yeah, but also like in general, like, you know, just keeping your anonymity, so like, you know, avoid like crazy fans, because like, you know, what Stacey Gardner says, like, you know, some people take this like shit too far. It's like, bro, it's like a story at the end of the day. Like, you know, you disagree with it, like, you know, write fan fiction or something. But like some of these people will like literally like do some like crazy stuff to like, you know, people over like something that they disagree with, and like that's a huge reason why a lot of mangakas like don't talk to like the, you know, don't like have social medias, or like they're really like, you know, private about like their lives, or like, you know, I know you guys seen some of them, like they just like draw like a little like icon to like represent them instead of like, you know, having pictures taken.
Oh yeah, look, bro, we was talking about this earlier, man. The Demon Slayer, right? Y'all have no idea what that Demon Slayer author looks like, do you? You have no idea. You don't know. All right. The Demon Slayer author could be walking into the 7-Eleven right next to you, wouldn't know, because she keeps her face hidden. Because of that reason alone, these people are absolutely insane. It's idol culture, man. The idol culture in the East, in the Korea and Japan, is wild, man. These people go off, man. It can be deadly. You know, it can be really, really insane, man. But yeah, that's the reason why. You know, that's the reason why. So yeah. I don't know, man. The fandoms. Look, I love being a part of a fan base, but I don't like the stuff that I be seeing sometimes. It's like you really attacking the author that of something you like. You know, like you actually like this work and you're enjoying this work, but you're attacking the author. Like I don't get down with that, man. I do not get down with that at all. All right, guys. Look, we are almost up on 3 hours. Okay, we are almost up on 3 hours. Yeah, man, this is a long one, man. We have not gone long in anime nights for a long time, but we got to wrap things up.
Look, hey, that's how we do it. That's how we do it around here, though. We go long with no pause. All right.
Pause for real, right? Yeah, we got to pause that one, man. Pause. All right, look, Crunchyroll has announced its next anime nights preview in March. All right, I already got my tickets. Hope you guys got yours. Sneak peek
Just
for
bought
what
mine today.
April. Yep. So spring is about to hit. You know, we've been going through winter. Great anime in winter, and we're moving on. Spring is next. So we got look, Demons of the Shadow Realm. I have heard about this. I haven't heard.
I have to. Yeah.
I've heard a lot about Demons of the Shadow Realm, and I've heard that is going to be excellent. So I'm looking forward to that. Witch Hat Atelier. I've heard about that one too.
Yeah.
I've heard good things. ReZero. Look, first season of ReZero is dynamite. Love ReZero. After that, I'm not sure. But that first season of ReZero is absolutely spectacular. And then they're going to have something called The Drop of Gods. I don't know if you guys were able to look at these 4 anime that they're going to be dropping in theaters. It's going to be in theaters in March. I don't even know what day. What day is it that it's dropping? I got my tickets already.
March 16th on a Monday.
Yeah, March 16th. Yeah.
Every showing's at 7 p.m.
So that's a Monday.
Yeah.
So we will be back here on Monday, and we will do a special anime nights on Monday just to kind of chop it up, you know, for everybody that goes to see it. So Cyfax, look, me and you saw Anime Nights, the winter edition, and we did it out of the theater for that. I'm just seeing it locally. So if you go see it locally, and then jump on the stream afterwards. All right.
Okay,
try to get an
yeah. Well,
interview.
that I threw that in the private chat. I was like, which day is it? What is it before we're going to MegaCon? Because
Yeah.
like I was looking
Yeah,
forward
it's
to
before
Project
MegaCon.
Hell.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to Project Hail Mary, and it literally drops on the day I'm flying out to MegaCon. So I'm gonna see that one a little bit late. But
Okay. Yeah, this is a Monday. This is going to be Monday night, just kind of like the last one was. So go check it out on Monday.
Okay.
And then, we'll do a live reaction to, what we saw and what we expect for these individual series. But yeah, Demons of the Shadow Realm, Witch Hat Atelier, ReZero, and the Drops of the God. We'll go and check those out. So yeah, that's basically all I had to say. I don't know anything about any of these anime. I'll be honest with you, with the exception of ReZero, because I've seen the first season of ReZero.
I think we called it ever since we saw the first one. Their strategy is to have two heavy hitters, they're big swings, and then they have little two things that they kind of bunch with it. I think for me, ReZero is the big one. Of course, it's the brand, it's the franchise, it's a sequel, and then we loved Sentence, and I think this time Sentence, I'm I know nothing about it like you, but I think Demons of the Shadow Realm is this season Sentence. That's what the vibe I'm getting. It's their
it
Dark
feels like
Horse,
it's going to be the Sentence. Yeah, because we watching Sentence to be a hero, and that's to me that is the anime of winter. That is the best anime right now, even with Frieren being out there. And I think Frieren is excellent, but when Sins to be a Hero is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So I'm loving that. And then, they also had, what was the other one? Dead Account. They had Sins to be a Hero, Dead Account. They had Hell's Paradise.
There's a lovey-dovey one.
Yeah, the
and then
one, polar opposites,
Yeah, Sojo, which I'm like, whatever. So I haven't seen that one yet.
It's all subtitled, or is it dubbed? Or?
Yeah, it's all in Japanese.
No, they're all dubbed. Okay. Yeah, they're all dubbed.
I think they Angel, they said they're showing us so early that sometimes they don't even have the opening or the endings done for so, because when we were watching it, they played no openings or endings. It was just rapid fire, back to back,
Yeah, it would just jump. I can't remember which one it did it for us, DA, but it was there was one of them that did that too. It was oh, here's the next one, and just boom, cut.
Yeah, they just jump right.
There was no intro song. There was no credits.
Just here's the episode.
Boom, here you go.
Yeah, so we'll be on March 16. We will break it down. So guys, come back on March 16. We'll have a special episode of Anime Nights that night. And we'll chop it up. We'll talk about these 4. 2 hours. This is for the spring. Okay. So the winter, look, I think the winter has been absolutely amazing. I think some of the best, anime I've watched in a while has really been this winter. We've been watching some good shit. Let's go ahead and wrap things up with what you guys are watching now.
DA, sorry to cut in, but can I show 2 more things? It was originally going to be 1, but something came up that we had to make it 2. The second one will be a little shorter. Pause. But on the talk of fandoms, I'm gonna send an image in the X chat because I would show it if I had, but my camera just fucking is dead, so I can't. But earlier today, before I hopped on stream,
if you're gonna show it, your camera needs to not be dead, man, and that might be
for sure. But that's why I had to send it. Hey yo, we gotta pause there for sure. But
yeah. Name did say he wanted to talk about this. All right, Name, what you got?
Yeah, so this was a really cool experience. So, before I hopped on the stream, I went to watch this Uma Musume movie at the theaters. Now I knew nothing about it going in, but I saw the trailers and it looked interesting. And people 2 years ago, people were using this to clown on Blue Lock's animation. So I was like, okay, I'm a little interested. So I went to watch it, and I selected a 4:15 showing because I wanted to be able to make it in time for Anime Nights, because the only other one was at 7. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I picked that one, thinking it was just gonna be an empty theater, 4 p.m. on a Friday. People, it's a Friday, but people are still probably at work or coming off of work. And surprisingly, it was 70 to 80% packed. All Uma Musume fans, wow. The crowd's energy was insane. They were cheering. You think we were watching fucking Avengers Endgame from the way they were cheering, bro. Like, you know, they like a character would come up and everyone would start cheering. Like,
Nice.
okay, you guys know what pen lights are, right? You know those like little glow sticks that they wave at like concerts. They even brought those, and like every time they played like a music scene, like everyone would just be waving those around. And I'm like, bro, like, you know, even though it's no like Demon Slayer or like Chainsaw Man, but like just to see like the fandom, like, you know, love just come together, it was really cool. Like I knew nothing about this, but like it was really just like cool seeing like, you know, fans like support and then like. And this was really good for the theaters too, because like I saw like at least half of them, they were buying like popcorn and drinks. So like they were running it up for like not just like, you know, the tickets, but like they're running it up for like, you know, the concessions too, which is like what actually helps the theaters. So like I think if we, you know, we're talking about like, you know, all these like different things, like, you know, we need movies in theaters, we need like, you know, instead of them going straight to streaming. I think like, you know, these like fan run or like, you know, these like fan like targeted events is like how you like get that engagement. Like you pick out like a, you know, you do something special for them, like a really like niche community, like they'll pull up for it. Like these like the hardcore fans will pull up for it. Like you'll of course like have those like, you know, the Hollywood tentpoles, you know, those like, you know, big films that everyone knows, but like this fan stuff is like really good for like generating like, you know, interest for the theaters, because like you have like people like these postcards, like I picked mine up at like somewhere else, but like you had like people like, you know, who picked like handing out postcards, and like, you know, like that weren't like the theater, like it was just like a fan gathering like all these postcards, just giving one to everyone in the audience. So I thought that was like a really cool thing. And then I heard like they had like a rave like afterwards. So like I'm like, okay, so like, you know, they organized this thing, they pulled up for it, they showed up, they showed support, they showed love. So I thought that was like a really cool thing, you know, like opposite of like what we were talking about, you know, fandom toxicity. I think like this is a cool thing where like fandom positivity can like, you know, bring and like drive like, you know.
I agree.
And then the one last thing I wanted to talk about, I'm so sorry to do this, but the stream started and then I started seeing the post for it. So singer Neil Sedaka passed away, and how is it related to anime?
Oh,
well,
yeah. We were supposed to talk about that. I thought I lost
pulled
a
up.
lot.
I brought up
that's
like
probably the one you
showed up
lost.
late.
Yeah. I sent up like two links. So like it's like a news post about it, and then I sent up like something which is related to how he relates to anime. So he composed.
It was the Shield Hero brother, right?
Yep, Shield Hero.
Got it.
Episode
Okay,
director.
that's separate. But yeah, we also missed that topic. Okay, we can come back to Neil Sedaka,
Damn.
but let's do the Shield Hero director.
I can't find it. Shit, man.
Bro,
I'm trying to find it.
we're-
I had that up though. I did have it up. Oh man, yeah. We 3 hours in, man. I'm supposed to be in bed right now. Yeah, but this is the one that was the Shield Hero, Satoshi Mori, gift of animation founder and episode director of series such as The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 1 and Made in Abyss, has passed away after losing a battle to a long-term illness. Yeah, very, very sad, man. Very, very sad. Yeah. We had meant to bring this up earlier, but yeah, unfortunately, we got caught up in Matt Walsh and everything else. Yeah. But what was you about to say, Name?
So like the second thing, like I wanted to brought up, I only caught wind of it, like when the stream was like ongoing. But like American singer like Neil Sedaka passed away, and like he has like some like really cool contributions to anime. Like he did like 3 songs for Zeta Gundam, and so I think like they're covers of his songs. And I sent like the links in the chat, like one of the news accounts like announcing it, and then like the singer who covered like his song for the anime, like she gave him like the flowers. So I thought it was like, you know, it's really sad. You know, we talking about like last week how like we like all these artists like, you know, suddenly like passing away, and it always sucks because like, you know, they do all this like cool stuff, and then like, you know, but it's also touching to see like everyone, like the impact that they have on everyone. Like there's so many like Gundam fans like, you know, just giving him this tribute, and I thought that's like 2 worlds like you don't think that are like are gonna collide. Like, you know, Neil Sedaka, like, you know, this like American like singer, you know, Sweet Caroline, and then like, you know, Gundam, which like I didn't even know about that. I just learned about that when the news dropped. I'm like, damn, like, and those like Gundam Zeta songs are like bangers. I'm not gonna ask you to play them because of copyright, but like you go to listen to them, like they're really good. And like I don't think the anime would be as like would be the same without his contribution. So like rest in peace.
Facts. Yep. All right, everybody. Hey, Name, thank you for bringing that back up, man. I completely forgot about it, man. So thank you for cluing us in on that. Everybody, we are done, man. It's been 3 hours, and we normally go only 2. So this is extra content for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Thank you very much for everybody hanging out. Hit the like button on the way out if you have not already done so. Give it up for the panelists who came through and helped us out with the conversation. Let's go around the horn. Let's see what you guys got coming up on your channels. And everybody get out there and subscribe to all of these brothers. Their links are in the description, so you can't miss them. Brandon had to dip out early because he got an Anime 101 coming up early in the morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So jump in with Brandon as he's discussing anime. He comes right after me. So jump over there and talk to Brandon and build his channel up. Angel, thank you for look, man. Angel started the show for me tonight. Okay, I wasn't even ready to go, and Angel, he came through and he started the show for me. Thank you, Angel. What you got coming up, bro?
I'm going to be playing some games tomorrow. Sci-Fax pretty much convinced me to buy a PlayStation camera for my PlayStation 5, so I'm gonna get that camera tomorrow. Do some streaming on that. Check out some of my shorts. I got a couple of shorts that have been hitting over 1,000 as well, so check those out. I'm trying to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more comical on my page, so follow me on my journey, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Everybody get over and sub to Angel, the casual reviewer. Sci-Fax, what you got coming up, bro?
Yes. So, well, to Angel's point there, where I convinced him to buy a camera, I have a PS5 camera. It's literally right there. So I'm going to be doing more gaming streams. I just bought Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So Resident Evil Requiem. I'm about to I'm going to go live on that here pretty much after this stream. I'm going to go and probably maybe put in an hour to 2, probably 2 hours, depending on how much I'm enjoying the game. And then I'll be playing that most of this weekend. Also doing streams this weekend with Rockefeller for coffee and beer. No, what does he call it?
Beer and bonfire.
Beer and bonfires and beers. There you go. I got
bonfires and beers.
Bonfires and beers.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll be doing that.
Get over there, sub to Sci-Fax, and go watch them afterwards. Angel, or excuse me, not Angel, Stacy Gardner. You're next. Sorry about that. What you got coming up, bro?
Got a new episode of Marvel Cosmic Invasion tomorrow featuring Wolverine and Nova. Got the final battle of Fairy Tail, and the ending will be next Sunday. But I also got a Mortal Kombat Legacy stream planned. I'm probably going to either use Noob Saibot or Sub-Zero. Haven't decided yet, but make sure you guys stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel for the Sunday night stream, where after that we'll be heading right over to DA for Entertainment on Trial.
Yeah, we'll be here on Sunday. Thank you very much, Stacy, hanging out. Name doesn't have a channel for some reason.
No,
we're gonna get him one. We're gonna make him do it.
Yeah,
we're gonna bully. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bully this small little Asian kid into fucking doing what we say. Damn it,
bro!
You need to get in there. We're gonna shove you into the locker of anime fucking degeneracy that you spawn from and make you make a channel. Damn it, get in here. Get in here.
They're trying to quarantine the Name Corner into a name channel. I get it, but I'm just gonna keep like blowing these guys DMs up with like the news articles.
Just make a channel called Name the One and Only. There you go. Boom.
Look, everybody.
He's giving you gold.
Game. I'm giving you game right now. Just get on it.
I am sending you everybody to Smash JT Gameplay, his channel. It looks like he's playing Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm not sure what this is, but give some love to Smash JT. Tell him I said what's up, and hail from the DA. And there it goes. Stacy, did you have one more thing?
I was going to explain. It's sort of like Game of Thrones and stuff with Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's basically a tactical gameplay though.
Got you. Okay. Well, that's it. Everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us on Anime Nights. Much pleasure hanging out with everybody on a Friday night. We will see you guys back again next Friday. We'll have more topics to discuss. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys on Sunday for the DA's office. You guys take care of yourselves, and we will see you. Where's my video? There we go. All right. Peace out.
Peace.